performance. Thoroughly unforgettable performance.
You're looking like a 2-week-old haggis.
House chores.
Well, maybe it's time for a little fun.
I could use some fun.
So, what are you gonna do about it, lad?
Well, maybe if I hurry.
Hard, 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 hard!
Yeah. I can finish this later.
The Scotties Tournament of Hearts is at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, February 18th to 26th. Come for the fun and live it live.
Thoroughly unforgettable performance. Thoroughly unforgettable performance. Thoroughly unforgettable performance. Performance.
The Ontario Curling Association, its board of directors, and over 193 member clubs, as well as 50,000 curling members, would like to acknowledge and thank the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sport for their recognition of the sport of curling, as well as its long history of past champions. The Ministry is supporting the Ontario 150 Celebration of Champions in Cobourg this week. This celebration acknowledges the sport of curling in Ontario and Canada for over 150 years. From Olympic gold medalists to 4-time world and Canadian champions, Ontario has a history of producing winners who showcase their talents to Ontario, to Canada, and the rest of the world. Please enjoy the streaming this week from Cobourg, Ontario, and do not miss our Parade of Champions, February the 2nd at 7 p.m., followed by the free streaming of the Glenn Howard versus John Epping game. For the Ontario Ladies Scotties Tournament of Hearts, brought to you by the Ontario Curling Association. My name is Ian Tetley, and I am joined by my co-host and former Ontario Winter Games gold medalist Rebecca Wickershire and our on-ice reporter Jason Chang. We thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to bringing you live streaming coverage over the next 3 days. All of this live curling action is brought to you by Title Sports Live. Well, Rebecca, on this Friday afternoon, we enter the last draw of women's action. Our key matchup today will feature Ottawa's Rachel Homan, who is currently 5-1, up against Brampton's Allison Flaxey, who is currently at 3-3. Rachel Homan looking to solidify her top spot into Sunday's final, and Allison Flaxey looking to stay alive and in the hunt and getting into the semifinals.
Absolutely. It's going to be an interesting afternoon here, Ian. Lots of teams sitting at that 3-3 position, so Team Flaxey needing a win here today to get into playoff contention.
So on this final round robin game for the ladies today, we're going to hear who's on all the sheets here. We're going to throw it down to our on-ice commentator, Jason Chang.
Thanks very much, Ian and Rebecca, and good afternoon to all the fans watching at home or at work, wherever you might be. TitleSportsLive.ca, we've got all the action for you. I'll be on the ice level of the Cobourg Community Center to keep you up to date on all the action across 5 sheets. Okay, let's try to set things up. As we know, all the ladies are playing today, but we do have a one men's game over on the far sheet. That's sheet E, and it's a game against between Team Corey Hegestead against Scott Bailey. The situation's simple. Corey Hegestead, he's eliminated from the playoffs. He's trying to play spoiler. Scott Bailey, if he wins, he's in the playoffs. On the other sheets, sheet A features Kathy Auld against Megan Balsden. Megan Balsden out of contention, but Kathy Auld, she's 3-3. She wants to win to guarantee at least a tiebreak. Over on sheet B, Sherry Middaugh had a big win this morning to keep her playoff hopes alive. She's at 2-4, needs a little bit of a help. She's playing Julie Tippin, who also pulled off a big win this morning. She's at 3-3. As you mentioned, sheet C, the feature sheet, Allison Flaxey, 3-3, looking for a win to guarantee at least a tiebreak. Rachel Homan at 5-1, looking for that top playoff spot and a direct trip to the finals. And finally, on sheet D, it's Jacqueline Harrison, also at 5-1. She plays Heather Hegestead at 2-4. Again, Heather needs a win and some help to have a chance. Jacqueline Harrison, if she wins this game, she will be the top seed and into the finals. Okay, that's the update for now. Join us later in the show. Back up to the booth with Rebecca and Ian.
Thank you, Jason. Great matchups here this afternoon for our final draw for the ladies and final draw for the one game between Bailey and Hegestead as well. Well, Rebecca, we've got World Curling Tour Order Merit number 1, Rachel Homan, up against Allison Flaxey, World Curling Tour Order Merit number 7. This is one heck of a matchup. This is probably, two of the best teams actually in Canada right now that are facing off. Allison Flaxey possibly facing elimination. Rachel Homan, she wants to solidify her spot into the Sunday's final if she can. Obviously, she's going to have to wait to see the results of the Jacqueline Harrison game as well. But, anyways, Rachel Homan, her team of Emma Miskew, Joanne Courtney, and Lisa Weigel, 2-time Canadian champs, 1-time bronze medalist champ, 1-time Canadian Winter Games champion. So this is a team that's done a lot of things. They've trained for this occasion. They go hard. What are your expectations? What is Team Flaxey going to bring?
Absolutely. Well, Team Flaxey, her team been playing so well this year, playing in lots of events. Her third, Clancy Grandy, second, Lynn Kraviazik, and lead, Morgan Court. They've been doing really well this year. As you said, these two teams, probably the two favorites to be in Sunday's final heading into this week. But Team Flaxey's gotten themselves into a bit of a hole here with 3 wins, so they're going to need a win here this afternoon against Team Homan to get into those playoffs. Should be an interesting matchup, both them playing with some rocks in play so far this week, so we'll see how they choose to start it off.
Obviously, this key matchup is just coming up. They've had their 7-minute warm-up, and in the draw to the button, it looks like Allison Flaxey's team will have the hammer. Flaxey's team going to be throwing the yellow rocks, Homan with the blue. Ice conditions here this week have been absolutely perfect. Darren Sinclair and his group have done a phenomenal job. Ice is running in around 14.5 seconds from hog to hog. It's curling 4.5 feet. On this sheet, where we've seen curling about 4.5 feet, they seem to have built up this other side just a little bit. It was curling only about 2.5 feet to 3 feet. We're seeing upwards of 3.5 to 4 feet now, so it can be exciting curling the whole week long.
Absolutely. This sheet getting lots of curl now, so should make for some great shots here in this matchup.
Obviously, as Jason had commented earlier, there's a lot of games out here. We could possibly have a five teams tied for the third spot on the ladies' side. Kathy Auld, Megan Balls, and that's going to be a key game to watch, because if Kathy Auld loses, this could cause this massive jam with 4 losses. Sherry Mada playing Julie Tippin, the exact same. Like both those teams are looking to stay in the hunt. Obviously, our key game here with Flaxey and Homan, and Jacqueline Harrison up against Heather Hegestad.
Exactly. All 4 of these sheets of women's play are important for playoff positioning, so it's going to be a really interesting afternoon here.
Now, Rachel's team, it's interesting how they started off the year with the bang. They won the first 2 events they played in. They won the Shorty. They won the Canada Inns. Then they lost the final to Flaxey in the Grand Slam event, the Masters. Then all of a sudden they lost a qualifier to Inglot, and they lost the final to Jennifer Jones in the Home Hardware Series Grand Slam game. And then they lost another quarterfinal, and in the last Grand Slam they didn't even qualify. So I'm just wondering if they've kind of cooled off a little bit from that early success, and now they got to try and somehow wind the engine back up and get it going.
I think you're right. This team probably, after losing the provincial final last year to Jen Hanna, really worked on their season planning for this year, trying to be able to peak at this point and really get back to the Scotties and defend that national title from a couple years ago. But we'll see if that worked out for them. As you said, their results sort of declining so far throughout the season, so we'll see if they were able to plan accordingly.
They were fortunate to actually get one of the Order of Merit spots into the ladies' Scotties this year. So didn't have to play down like everybody else did.
Exactly. Both of these teams, Team Flaxey as well, got the second Order of Merit spot, so neither of these teams had to play down.
So, battle of our top 2 teams on paper anyways, but not in the standings right now. So Allison Flaxey is going to be battling hard to try to win this thing and stay alive.
He's tearing up last night. So cute. Yeah.
31-year-old Lisa Weigel from Ottawa going to lead us off.
I think so, yeah.
And Lisa obviously sort of created a legacy for herself by making the Weigel wick. Kind of a shot she perfected better than even any of the male curlers. And essentially, when the opposition, when their team has the hammer and the opposition throws a center guard, a lot of times she just likes to tick it over and create 2 corner guards from it.
All right, so it'll be a little.
Well, not only is she so good at making them, just saw her hog a rock there. That's pretty uncharacteristic. But not only is she so good at making them, they sort of got famous for it just because of when they play the tick as well. A lot of teams don't resort to it until the 10th end, maybe the 9th end, but they sort of started playing it anytime they had a lead, and they weren't afraid to use it earlier on in the game, which really sort of brought it into their wheelhouse.
Well, it frustrated a lot of teams just because, they didn't want to. All of a sudden, she was ticking these rocks over, and they were forced to play, center guards later into the end than they normally would, and then all of a sudden now they could start to peel the rocks, the center stones, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, all the play started to be around the corner guards, and that's exactly what Rachel was looking for.
Absolutely. Served as a good tactic to sort of get into the other team's head. When you play unexpected shots like that, it can kind of throw them off, so they really use that well.
31-year-old Morgan Court from Guelph, Ontario, about to throw this out turn hit.
Easy. Whoa.
Looking to hit and hang around. It looks like she's going to hit and roll out.
Okay.
Yeah. 27-year-old Joanne Courtney from Edmonton, Alberta. Joanne being the lone import here for the Homan team.
Yes.
6, 7. Yeah, good throw.
I think was initially looking to throw a center guard, but it looks like she's going to slip into the rings.
Couple missed shots so far from Team Homan in this first end. Ooh, just stopped shy of the rings. Take that back. That's a good shot.
Well, the ice might be a little stiffer here than when they first went out to practice. It looks like I just got that guard at 13.5, so it's not quite up to speed yet.
No. Yeah. It's like 3 inches outside.
31-year-old Lynn Kreviatsik throwing the hit on that, since it's the control stone. Does that successfully.
Knows that? Yep. We're trying to just straight heel.
The Homan team obviously very familiar with Lynn Kreviatsik, having played with her sister, Allie, being a vital role on the Homan team on their past successes.
Absolutely. Lynn played with them on and off a bit too, because Allie was a year older than them, so I think Lynn was on that Canada Games team.
Yep.
Sorry, I almost misspoke her age. She's only 25.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably like a control up. And I maintained, it didn't come down.
I think because that rock was so close to the rings, Rachel didn't want to take much of a chance of leaving it there, just because it is, when it's that close to the rings, it's kind of a control stone.
Nice throw, Joe. Easy. Whoa. No. On its own. All on its own. She'll be fine. Good.
Lynn just getting enough of that to clean it off, and so it looks like we're headed towards a blank end here, Rebecca.
So it should feel like back line from yesterday. Okay, I don't want to. High guard isn't great. Good pair. It's a good extension. I think it should run okay.
This one out in a bit of a wider path
Don't need to.
than
Don't need
Joanne's.
to, guys. Don't need to. Yep. That's fine. It's fine, guys. It's fine.
Let's sped up a little bit.
Emma Mescu, the 27-year-old
9-5.
Ottawa native.
Okay.
What kind of time did you get?
And now Clancy Grandy,
13-3. Wow. That's like top 12.
our 26-year-old from Toronto.
That's what yours did. Like, I thought yours was full. Yep. And so I knew it slow down, but I was like, maybe. Clean. Yep. Go, Mark.
Successfully making that hit and roll away.
Hey.
Rachel not going to take any chances. Going to get Emma Mescu to try to hit and roll back towards the center line.
Yeah, like a little like on the edge.
Yours should be good.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Clean. Yep. Hard, really hard. Nice sweep, guys. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Same, 9-5. Is it light at all or good? Pretty good? Okay.
Nice hit there from Emma. Clancy's last shot now here in the first end.
Clean. Clean.
Clean. Whoa.
I tried to believe it because of Joe's.
Clean. Clean.
It's like heavy on mine and then it's on its own. Or top 8. Good.
Stay with the roll. Roll it. Roll it.
Third on it.
Okay. That's good.
Both teams are doing a great job of moving the stone around, just so that it's not the
Good.
exact same spot each time for their opposition to throw at.
My slider, like something, I don't know, something just caught the edge or something.
Yeah,
so I had to like try and pull it back.
I'm gonna let go nose, and we just hit 3/4 on the inside. So
You actually didn't run.
I think just a high side nose, pretty close.
I tried really hard to get it.
You got it.
That one's fine.
Yeah. Oh, that was perfect.
Is that still nice?
9-4.
Yep, hard!
Once you've thrown one in the path, it's fine. But
Right to it!
Right.
Hard!
Rachel Homan, 27-year-old from Ottawa as well. It looks like she may hit and roll too far here. Clancy Grandy trying to get this out of the rings.
Nice.
And does just that.
Sorry, over here.
Yeah, you might as well.
Just rounded it a little back. So
Well, Allison Flaxey will like this. She gets a free opportunity
Once it gets to
to
the front of the house,
test
it's
out
like
draw weight.
stopping.
Stops. Yeah.
try to make a corner freeze on the Homan stone just outside of the rings.
all of a sudden it was like over as well. So what just happened?
T-line.
Still held it for the most part.
So once you're getting to like the front of the house, all theirs are just like stopping dead. So. Yeah, T-line or back a couple feet is great. So like 13 and a half here, you figure?
Well, there you have it. Great communication between the front end and the skip, having the discussion, keying in on draw weight, and 13 and a half seconds between hog lines.
Wait if you can. Still really running, guys. Looks all here. Whoa. Getting better. You're just gonna be open. 13 and a half. It's just better in that spot.
Okay, do you want me to try to roll?
Well, perfect weight. They
Yes.
just obviously guessed wrong on the on the ice to take.
Exactly. I'm hoping it would curl to in front of that blue stone, but not quite.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just aiming on the high side here just to make sure. This should curl
Which
out.
I remember we were taking
Yeah.
center line or just a hair on the inside as it went on because this side wasn't cutting quite
Yeah.
as much.
Might get a
Clean.
Rachel not going to take any chances here. Just going to try
Yep.
and take
Yes.
this out. If she can roll in front of her own stone,
Good throw.
that would be great. But right on the nose.
peel.
Just give like,
I think a couple.
yeah, those come up a hair
Yeah.
to a quarter.
Exactly how I thought it would. Could have just hit it a little earlier. Curls them away. New spot too.
Allison Flaxey,
Peel.
the wife of Caleb Flaxey, who is also their coach.
Yeah, I think so. Rachel just threw a
Caleb
lot on
being
that.
the
so.
fifth person for the Brad Jacobs Olympic gold medalist from Sochi in 2014.
Good view of him and Adam Kingsbury there behind the scoreboard.
Coach is conferring, is it?
Yep. Yep. Right to it. Really hard. Really hard. Hard. You got a chance. Roll it. Go, 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 go.
Trying
Right
to
out,
roll
right
this
out, right
out
out.
for the blank.
Really good sweep, guys.
Nicely done.
Great shot by Allison Flaxey. So at the end of one end of play here, we'll have no score with Allison Flaxey holding onto the hammer going into the second end.
Yeah, no, I saw you.
Absolutely pretty quick. And here on our sheet, everyone else still playing the first end. Good job keeping it clean this end. We'll see if Rachel decides to try and throw that center line guard again. Obviously, Lisa hogging it this end, so that allowed Allison to keep it pretty open. So we'll see what they choose to do here in the second.
That's always difficult when your lead misses their opening stone in a game that you kind of want to try to pressure the other team early. It kind of deflates your team a little bit just because all of a sudden you don't get an opportunity to sort of try to impart in your game plan that you've kind of laid out. Usually your game plan sort of includes the center line guard going up, and then you sort of getting into it. You kind of envision exactly what the first end's going to look like. Then all of a sudden, uncharacteristically, she hogs the stone, and all of a sudden it's like, oh God. They throw it in the rings, and now you're forced to chase.
Yep.
But the ironic part about that is when Rachel played
Okay.
Sherry Mada the other day,
Don't want to.
Rachel threw the
Three's
center
good.
line guard.
Look clean.
Sherry threw it into the rings out in the 12-foot, and then Rachel still chose to draw.
A little
So
bit, yeah.
I guess I'm curious why
Whoa, Joe. Whoa,
when
whoa.
Allison threw it in the rings out in the 8-foot, why
Top 8.
Rachel didn't throw the center guard
It's okay
again.
already. We're in a really good
That one I got a 14 on. So
This
not
time
quite
Lisa Weigel
up
getting
there,
her
but
second center guard into play,
Yeah.
nice and tight to the rings.
Top 8.
Morgan Court here going to throw the out-turn draw around.
Okay.
Line's a little
It was
tight.
a pretty big ad. I think we're there right now.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Wait's really good. Okay. Top 8. Go when you need to. Like to.
This is staying out a little longer than I think she would have hoped.
Just leave it high, maybe. Not in.
Yeah, just leave it all off.
Okay.
Good call.
Really
That's a
died in
14.
that spot. Seems like they're
Down
getting
again.
caught a little bit on weight as well.
Right here.
A little bit stiff out there still.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we're trying to get a hog-to-hog time on this one here for Lisa Weigel as she tries to draw in.
Room. Lots of
Yeah.
room.
Okay. I think we're all there.
Leave it. Yep.
Yeah, but I think just because it curls so hard that way, we were trying to give it a chance.
6. Wait only. Switch. Switch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Wide
Seven.
open.
That's 13-9, so
Light.
It's not light, it's still T, but
Yeah.
keep going right under. Nice weight.
Yeah.
T-line.
great shot by Lisa Weigel to start this end going.
13-8.
Allison Flaxey's going to have to follow her down and try to freeze to the face of that stone.
Really close.
Nice weight.
Line's okay.
The other day,
Room. Back 4.
we were watching Morgan Court really struggle, especially on her intern side. Everything seemed to have a bit of a soft hook to it.
We gotta go for weight a bit soon.
No, like you have no line whatsoever. Yeah, that's fine.
13-6, but this rock
Okay.
seemed to go straight down the sheet. Just curious if that rock might be a little straight.
It's getting pulled like this way for her line and delivery, so it's so.
Yeah, tough to tell.
Yeah, I think so. Shoot.
Joanne Courtney here going to have the opportunity to play a hill hit and flop back inside underneath that center guard
Yeah, depending on where she rolls.
Yeah.
Rolls it all.
and lay two buried out of sight.
Can't. Mike,
Weight's
yep,
good.
yep.
Gotta go, Lisa.
Hard for a piece. Whoa.
Just
Weight
catches
was really
a
good.
small piece of that Yellowstone and ticks their rock at the back of the button into the back 12-foot.
I don't mind that.
It's fine. No, yeah. 9.5 out here.
Well, that was a rather
I hadn't seen it
rather
there, but it
unfortunate in the
should've been
fact that
straight.
she ended up sort of taking her own stone off the back of the button. It was in a real good spot. So now essentially the other stone rolling way over here to the 12-foot. So Lynn Kreviatzik's going to have the opportunity to play a hit and roll back inside.
You're letting it happen. I'll try to keep outside down if I have to.
Close. Hit now. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Little up. Good call.
Good try.
Yeah.
Wasn't too far from making that, actually.
No, it was pretty close. Those hit and
Yeah, no,
rolls
this
have been
is okay.
tough so far in that spot.
Yeah.
Good throw. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
Heavy. Yeah, no weight came off it, I don't think.
Down
It just
normal.
kinda
No.
stayed where he threw.
Joanne Courtney now trying to get this roll. She'll pretty much get it on the nose as well.
Well, I'm surprised right now that, you know,
Threw really well.
Yeah, I've
Allison
seen this
having
one.
the hammer, and there's just two of these stones right now. Why she wouldn't be trying to sort of tap her own rock straight back? to get it in because, like, she might as well go all out for 2 right here. It is the even end of play. You've got a tight guard that you can use yourself.
No, wait.
You kind of end up wasting a lot of stones, kind of trying to make the perfect hit and roll, which, you know, we've been watching these sheets all week long. It's probably the toughest shot out here is trying to make it perfectly.
Might go into that other blue. Just caught a piece of it so it stays in for shot rock.
Well, that ends up being a great shot, so, you know, I guess I have to retract my statement. But
Hit that.
Good throw. Just waited.
Up to
too
you.
long.
Yeah, well, I figured like the other one curled nicely. You guys just
Held
with the
it,
sweep.
yeah.
Like, it was a difference of literally a couple.
Worried about not being able to get
Right.
under.
So my lifting off.
Six.
Good job.
I don't think I ever actually lifted.
I don't know, I'm a guy that likes to play the odds. And what
She lifted a little
what are
bit,
your
but yeah.
what is the percentage of you actually sort of
Yeah, we just missed
being
it.
able to
No,
complete that
no, it's fine.
that
We just
stone?
missed the line call on that end. It ends up really good though because she has to chase it. And then we have a free draw.
Close.
Well, in one of our key games out there, the Kathy Auld versus Megan Baldson. Megan Baldson getting 2 points in that first end.
Well, when I could hear you, I had a feeling. And I knew it was a bit less weight, like it was more like a true 9.5. Yeah.
Emma Miskew making the hit and roll. Delay 2 now buried. But those
Good
being
shot.
at the very back of the rings, I
We've thrown a
don't
couple
really
hits
expect
now,
them
so it
to be
shouldn't
counters
too bad.
by the end of the end.
Stay close.
It's like
Clancy
not as
Grandy.
straight as if you get wider. Hey.
Line's
Line's
good.
good.
Close. Whoa.
Room.
Room. Room.
Room.
Room.
Morgan
You've got to
in
be
front.
heavy.
13-1 on this, so that's this could have some
Go, Mark.
extra
No,
weight.
If
no,
you can.
Morgan.
No, not if you're gonna sweep it through.
Got 13.6.
Just hangs on for shot stone.
Well, I think right now at this point, I almost think Rachel at this point should be throwing the intern draw around,
Line's really
getting
important. Gotta make sure
position.
we're by here. Top 4 is great.
Oh,
If it
exactly.
goes to
She
the
could
back
hit
ones,
that
just make sure you
stone,
let her
but
know
they'd
it's
still
heavy.
all be in the back of the rings.
Well,
so-
right now those stones actually don't benefit either team really. So if Rachel threw one in top around her own center guard, Allison would have to sort of run it back, and you know what? Chances are she's going to jam it into something back there.
Off. We're not on it.
This is running the way my ran, so it's got to be back there.
Not sure if they were trying to tap that stone on that.
Well,
Yeah.
as much as she was probably calling for a draw, I think in the hack the mindset is probably okay. I can be a little bit heavy here if you're guessing at the weight because hopefully I'll just come down and tap their stone. Well, she really overthrows it.
It's so sensitive in that
No, no,
spot.
no, no,
Extra
no,
weight, it
don't
really
touch
runs
that.
straight
Don't
like that.
touch it. No!
Okay, Morgan in front then.
No! You don't
Okay,
have
no
to.
then.
See, they're trying to come around their own
Morgan's
guard,
gotta
which I'm
Go,
cool with.
Morg. Go, Morgan.
No, leave it, leave it.
No, go, Morgan. Get it edge on edge. You're not behind T.
Yeah. just
Again,
a
running
girl.
really straight, even with that top 8-foot weight.
Well, there's a
Just-
great
yeah,
shot.
Be
And
like,
I thought it would have.
you get to see that that right over the
yeah.
the Flaxey stone on the 8-foot there is fully exposed, but there's not a lot of room to get by the guard to remove it successfully.
What do you like?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
She will likely throw the hack to board weight on that. The only problem is
You might just be
it's one of those shots where if you go after, if you end up ticking the front, you end up ticking them into the rings. So you either kind of run the front back, or you just go to the straight intern draw
It's up
yourself.
to you. As long as you want to tap it?
Yeah.
I don't know that I can hit that. Nice thing is I gotta try my
Okay.
shot.
Do you want to tap a 7?
Yeah. You don't want me to try and get under? I just don't think we can.
I think there's a ridge, and inside the ridge it really curls, and outside the ridge it doesn't come back at all.
Listening so much on there.
I definitely don't know the tap line.
Just lay with
We can go all the way to here.
Okay.
Good spot though.
With the
I
weight.
don't think I can get there.
Spin.
I think we saw
A little bit heavier than that.
That's right. Yeah.
But it
It
wasn't just.
breaking. I think they'll bruise down there.
I think there if I'm clean, it should be perfect.
Okay, it's a hair slower here. Okay.
Having the wrong broom down, essentially.
So it looks like they've opted just to draw right around their stone on the center line.
Yeah.
Which I like this call. I think unless she was going to try the run through on the two yellows and just try to split them off, but even if she made that
Mine's
successfully,
important, like back four shot.
it essentially would give Allison Flaxey to play this shot. And I think this is a bit of a race for the button right now.
With heel, kind of control it with the sweep.
Yeah. I think so too.
Okay, got room.
There.
Up and still floating. Oh. Still? Mine's really good.
9,
no.
that's back 8.
No, no.
13-5 on that.
Okay, Rich.
So maybe starting to pick up a little bit now. Slides into the back 12 foot, so Team Flaxey still shot rock up in the top 8.
I don't hate it. You have a lot of it.
Well, this is going to give Allison Flaxey the opportunity to get her rock in
I didn't think that
top of the button, even top of the 4 foot.
She's gonna come off of it. She's gotta make it perfect. It's so much of a.
But at least then to make it.
It's exactly what I wanted to throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really nice line.
Yep.
Only if we go on
13-2.
But then she makes it, and if she rolls it under here, she's
Can't
double
believe that
guarded
they're
under here.
even.
We might not have a run depending on where it hooks, right?
right.
If
I guess it's all the hits, maybe?
Right.
Because, like, Lisa, they only threw one draw
Okay.
after that.
I didn't give it any extension either.
Either that or you just, well, I guess then she maybe plays the same shot, eh?
Same.
But you could try to tap it.
At least we're second and third.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
That was my first.
Yeah, get an edge
kind of
on edge
thought.
type thing.
Yeah. So for draw to button, like I was giving
I think
you
she's
the-
going to want to make sure that this draw is at
So I
least
think- yeah.
to the top of the 4 foot.
Yeah,
Yeah, edge on edge is perfect.
If she leaves it up any higher than that,
I was talking
Rach will
fully,
run
and I
her
just kept
top
going.
stone just out of the rings on center line
I think I like this.
into it,
better.
and she may make a double if it's
Yeah,
up
'cause
in the
as it
middle
was
of the
curling,
8
when you
foot.
said still, I was thinking the same thing. Like, it's moving nice right now.
Yeah.
Like,
If she sinks too deep here behind the tee line, it's going to give Rachel the opportunity to freeze to it
So does that draw the
and
button?
kill her end.
Okay, so top 8's great. Don't need to be any more than that. Go then.
You've got tons of line. Okay. Stay on it then. Stay on it. Stay on
No,
it.
stay on it. That's okay.
Okay, okay,
Wow.
okay. Okay.
It's pretty
Good sweep,
light.
guys.
She threw that 16 and a half seconds, so
Wow.
that's not even close.
I think
Well-
I didn't assume.
Interesting,
That would be
interesting.
faster too.
This might be a
Okay.
time where I
That's
think
all I think.
Rachel can actually try to go after this
Just
rock.
try to throw, draw
with,
the button minus
like
like
almost
4
with
feet.
normal
and I
weight.
think I probably, like I just
She
didn't.
if she knows that she'll be
We
shot
open this
rock,
up, it's a disaster.
but all we
And-
have to get, we just have to account this one for it not to matter, right?
because I think
Like,
if
we just
she
have to
threw
get
it, got to
more
the
than
nose,
full 12. So
it's going to be
Same weight?
difficult
Yeah, I
for
think so.
Flaxey to score because there's no real in-turn draw. She'd have to
I
go way
like,
wide,
we threw the hits
is a
here.
lot more.
basically way out in the weeds.
Because even if we're going to be high side, we could tap it
She's
onto
ever
this one.
slightly wide on that hit, though. She could send it into those blues.
Correct.
I think it's
But
pretty good.
maybe we can hear what they're saying here.
Yeah.
Not sure what they settled on with that ice.
Looks like she's going to try and throw a tap on her center guard.
Do you think that's too much?
Try to tap it straight back into the 4 foot.
I'm sorry. lots of hits. Might slow down as it comes up. Same weight.
Okay, whoa.
Clean it.
Close. Whoa, off. No. It's really close. Whoa.
Weight only.
Everything
Keep it
looks
high.
pretty good right now.
Close.
Keep it high.
Yep.
Gotta
Whoa,
go
whoa,
keep
whoa.
it.
Sit.
Great shot.
Really nice, Rach.
Just slipping into the back of the button.
That is a tremendous shot.
It's like right here.
These are running pretty
But it
straight,
is
eh?
dead
That's where you
buried.
want to hit it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Here's a look at that finish. Curls about a full rock just from the hog line in there.
Yeah. 3/4 will be real close. Even 2/3 should.
This run back is available for 2 points here for Allison Flaxey.
Yep, she's going to have to absolutely stuff it and save it, but I'm sure she would be happy if she just removed it and got her single point.
Yep.
Slid pretty tight.
Hard!
Well,
She
the only thing
can't
she's
make
going
her
to do
own
is
yellow.
take her own out here.
Off.
Oh,
That could have been pretty bad.
One bliss.
Gonna be a steal of 1 here for Team Homan.
so at the end of 2 ends of play,
One
Rachel
blip.
Homan 1, Allison Flaxey no score.
I just can't get out to you there.
Okay.
Like,
And
middle of
we'll
the
be right
rock
back
even
from the
worse.
2017
And then
Ontario
because I got
Scotty
into the
Tournament of
middle
Hearts
rock,
live from
Actually,
Coburg, Ontario,
yeah.
only on Title Sports Live.
No, it's called throw the rock at the
Welcome back to the Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts here, live from Coburg, Ontario, right here on Title Sports Live. My name is Ian Tetley. I'm here with our co-host Rebecca Wicker-Schur, bringing you all the live action.
Wow.
Rebecca, that
Don't necessarily know.
a fabulous tap there by Rachel, obviously, has set up the steal opportunity. Allison had the chance of the run back for 2.
Exactly, great shot by Rachel to set up that steal of 1. That run back attempt for Allison Flaxey
Too hard.
almost ending up pretty bad, but just giving up the steal of 1 there.
Well, it ends up being a massive sort of point swing from her last shot. If she makes the shot, she gets 2 points.
I don't know.
But instead, she gives up a steal of 1. So that's, that's a 3-point swing.
It's
so that
running
ends up being,
differently. Even if it,
so
a
far
throw, it's hard to go off
a
of.
key turning point in this game.
Absolutely, they did well in the
That game, Mark, you got it.
pre-game, their practices to get the hammer, so
Yeah, these three
that
is
started
fun.
off with that sort of mini victory, as we like to call it. And so sometimes you blank the first
Less
end,
than
now
what she
they've
gave
given up a
before.
steal. Haven't really had the chance to utilize that hammer yet, so that
Keep
sort of gets a little
moving.
frustrating.
Well, you're bang on, Rebecca. It's all about these little mini victories, and the first thing you usually like to do is it's about who
sweep.
gets the hammer. Well, okay, you didn't get the hammer. So, we used to set ourselves a goal at the 5th end of play. We wanted to be sort of tied with the hammer or up a point without the hammer. So in other words, you kind of got that little mini victory for the first half of the game and feel like you should be able to win the back half of the game.
Yeah.
In that end, it was almost like Allison Flaxey was a little scared to try to get to the 4-foot first, and she made the out turn draw. Rachel sort of avoided it, and Allison had a chance to follow her down and was way off on her weight.
Yeah.
Lisa Weigel here trying to get her draw in behind. This is kind of that same similar strategy that she played against Sherry Mada. And she's going to go deep there. She won't be happy with that result.
Even this is okay.
This is going to give Allison Flaxey the opportunity here to draw in and lay 2 points.
She has 2/3 of it. She has 2/3 if you want it.
You can just hit it then.
Yeah.
Okay. Board.
A touch. Yeah, just a touch. Couple feet.
Yeah, it's weird.
Decided to just hit this stone in the back 12 foot.
Well,
Yeah.
I would have been tempted to throw the out turn draw around, and hopefully you get it, you know, 3/4 are buried, and
On its own.
not sure why you need to hit a rock in the back of the 12. Like this is a massive,
Hard
not
out,
only
hard out. Okay.
a tactical error, you know, obviously an
Do you wanna look at
execution
this
error
before
too.
I don't know if the rings are off, eh?
Having a look at whether that one is in play or not.
Yeah, I'm fine with
It
measuring
didn't
it.
come. There's a lot of little black pieces that look like they're in the
If we go over to our overhead camera,
But
what happens here is that
But it didn't.
what happens is when the rock is at the back of the rings there, they can't tell if it's in play, and so they're going to bring out the 6-foot measuring stick, and they're going to put it on to see if that rock is actually in play. Because if it's for it to be in play, it actually has to be into the rings.
Yeah.
So the timekeepers stop the clocks here, and they'll bring out a 6-foot measuring stick.
Great work on that shot there, guys. Looks in from that angle.
Yeah.
Any calls from the truck on this?
Is the hole in the middle? Exactly.
yeah. It's just like the 12 foot lines are really sketchy. So
Yeah,
like
that
if we
side
can
right
avoid
now.
those completely, that would be good. Because like when I threw, I got like slightly into the 12 foot
way
and
it was
ran like
before.
fucking
I think
I don't think it would have been
started
heavy headed in the
tighter.
middle stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I with weight, yeah, yeah. With weight, I think it will.
What's happening right now? Well, we need the
So
broom,
it
but we
is
have to
out.
switch this head off. Does she want it now?
It's out. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Loose? Gone. Again? What are those things for?
Looks like Rachel having a bit of technical difficulties with her broom here.
I saw one of Joanne's busted yesterday, I think. One of like the broom.
This one.
Whatever
I got it.
piece
Thanks,
is
it's
in
good.
here.
Okay, are we just leaving that there? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that bar like snapped or something.
I just took the head off and put it on.
Yeah,
here.
that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Switched her broom head
Yep.
to a new broom. So here's Joanne Courtney now
Yeah, good
gonna
for
hit
mine
this
still. I
stone.
like getting that one through.
Trolling it.
Like, I like just
Yep. Hard. Really hard.
yeah.
Whoa, whoa. Sorry. Just rounded it. I wasn't sure if
What
I'd
are you
go.
talking about?
Nice, Joe.
Nine
Nice shot there. Rolls it in a little bit closer to that guard.
9-5. We'll do a little bit of a flop. This should run pretty straight.
Yeah, you should see my face.
Okay. Your weight was good. I know you thought it was heavy. Yeah.
Lynn Kreviatsik.
Yeah.
Next in, we're going to have her father come into the booth here and have a little chat with us. Her father, Doug, is the vice chair of the Ontario Curling Association, and obviously he can chat about his older daughter, Allison, and her success with his Homan team in the past. Allison now making the move to Sweden.
Absolutely. Their younger sister, Cheryl, curls on the tour as well. Played with Skip Holly Nickel this year.
It's a little heavy.
So all three of those girls very accomplished curlers.
Well, I'm going to have to ask him the question that he's never been a really good curler, so how did he get really good curling daughters?
Really nice. It looks like the same on around here. It's a straight spot.
It seems like a bit more.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Oh. Yep. Yep. Whoa.
Roll it.
No. Good.
Good.
So I didn't notice there how Rachel broke her brush, and I'm assuming she replaced it, but did it just sort of collapse, or was it through sweeping?
I'm not exactly sure.
Was it through banging?
What happened? No, it doesn't seem like anything specific happened. Just based on what the other girls were saying, it seems like it had been sort of broken already. Might have just been the mechanism that attaches the broom head part to the handle. So she just moved her broom head to a new brush.
Well, one of the rules that the World Curling Federation imparted this past season was that if you broke a brush out of frustration, that you could not bring in another one.
Yes.
So hence it would be extremely difficult for her to hold the broom if she didn't. And let alone, mind you, you can have a throwing broom, but you cannot use that throwing broom to hold and or sweep.
No,
Exactly.
no, she's got any of this.
Clancy,
Okay.
oh, missing this shot.
Yeah, she made it do that.
This is going to
8-3.
give Rachel the opportunity to draw a second stone into the rings in around that front
hits
center
in this
guard.
area have run really nice. Like, they're not coming down at all. I'd like to err on the
Hits
side
are
of not being
maintaining
heavy.
here. The hits are maintaining here.
She thinks
Top
they'll
12's
maintain.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I think. So, like, I think that last one I threw is probably as fast as it gets in the ace. So I'm just going to adjust like 6 feet less, I think.
Emma trying to dial in on what draw weight is here.
Great communication.
Felt really nice.
Drag it.
Emma thought it felt pretty good out of her hand, but she's pretty light here.
I think she's going to rack on the guard. And
Gotta bounce off for a
Bump
run.
it a hair.
Gotta bounce off for a run. I think it was a 9.
Good sweep.
Why? Why not hit? We still have a blank.
Yeah, then she might just ignore and come here.
Well, she's got to make it. I don't know. If she
Okay.
wants to, she can, but. So what weight am I throwing?
9-5.
well, I agree with Allison here.
Yes.
You got a perfect opportunity to draw, get a rockin' behind here, because if Clancy hits and rolls out here, you know, Rachel's just going to salt that rock around that center guard, and it's going to be lost.
Really hard. Really hard.
Well, Allie's saying even if you knows this, she might still go around.
A little frustration from Clancy Grandy there.
Yes.
Okay, I think
especially since she missed that same shot twice. And if you're going to change your skip's shot, you better make it.
I agree with you. You know, it's funny. And what happens in curling is that, you know, you wave the skip off once, the skip will give you the benefit of the doubt and let you do it. But when you miss that shot, next time you try to wave you off, they're going to tell you to hush up and throw out the broom. Rachel Homan, World Curling Tour Order Merit number 1. Gonna throw an out-turn draw here around her own 2 staggered guards, meaning if she gets this on the top of the forefoot, they won't be able to run it back. The last place she wants to go is deep, though.
Room for 2.
Well, she goes back 8 foot, and unfortunately that lets Allison Flaxey off the hook a little bit, providing she can draw down and freeze to that stone, and or keep it on the top of the button.
So my last 13-2 went the same spot.
Yeah, I think she wants to keep it above the tee line. If she freezes to that stone, Rachel's probably going to freeze to her, and then she'll be forced to one.
Let's make it good. Yeah, so low 14.
About 6 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. On my last 13-2. Okay. Okay.
You've got a little bit of room.
Line's great.
Room. Looks here.
Looks all there.
Can you freeze it?
That's 13.5.
No,
That should be
for a freeze. You're not on it.
a little bit hot.
No, Morgan. No.
No, Morgan.
Okay, that's fine.
Nice shot by Allison Flaxey.
85?
I think same ice. Yeah, your ice was great.
But because it's all behind the tee line, it's going to obviously give Rachel the opportunity just to come down and freeze to it. She'd probably even like to, if she can get to the nose and tap release her back one, she'd probably prefer to have that.
What did they say out of your hand?
Oh, that we're light. I think I probably just scared them with that first one.
Maybe. There's a really big difference in speed.
Yeah.
Okay, you got room. No then. Never.
Line's good.
Okay.
Line's really good.
Clean it. Yep. Yep.
Indicating that she's got
Yes.
she's got the tap weight.
Hard.
Can you leave
They
it?
just don't want to lose the line here.
Hard.
Can you leave it?
Hard.
Nice shot.
Think you can ever? Probably not. Okay, same shot.
I don't think so.
Yeah, same shot.
We've been dead buried.
So do you?
Yeah, but I just.
You know, she kind of asked if she might be able to sort of tap it, move it, but I don't think she'll be able to tap it, move it, and save her shooter.
Okay,
That's
I'll
the
take
problem.
A couple feet off. It would have been
So,
yes.
Allison Flaxey.
Okay, sounds good.
Allison essentially has the exact same shot.
She's letting go edge of floor, but she's straighter with
Yep. No, that's the same.
No. No. Yep.
They might
Yeah,
have
line's
their
fine.
plan
You got
B
it.
shot
Way to
if
go.
they go hard.
Go. Line's fine.
Hard. For line.
Good.
Nice shot there from Allison to score her single point here in the third end. So that'll
Holy,
tie
that,
things
like,
up here
mood
at
with you
one
guys having,
after
like, rooms
3
up
on
waiting.
sheet C.
Yeah, that one
But
made a
as
bit
we
of a
said
jump.
earlier, we've got lots of other exciting matchups happening here at the Coburg Community Center. Our on-ice reporter Jason Chang is down at ice level. I think he's got a special guest. We'll send it down to him.
Thanks very much, Ian and Rebecca. We are on ice level. In fact, we are on the home end behind the scoreboards, and I've got joined with me Bob Turcotte. He is the coach of Team Sherry Madog. Welcome, Bob. Now, Sherry is 2-4 right now. I think you guys would have liked to be a little bit better, but you're still in contention. Tell me how this week has gone so far.
Well, we've played pretty good. I mean, we've just missed 1 or 2 shots at the wrong time, and it's cost us. And we've had a couple of picks that hurt us a couple of times, but they're playing really good. So hopefully we can get in a tiebreaker.
Well, you still have a chance at a tiebreaker here. There's lots of games, 3 other women's games that have tiebreaker implications. How does your team focus on their game? They need to win their game, but they need some help as well.
Well, you have to hope that the other teams do their job, but there's only 2 games that affect us. Homan has to beat Flaxey, and Ballston has to beat all. So if that happens, then we're in good stead.
Well, Bob, you are also the 1979 Ontario Tanker Champion, playing third for Bob Fedosa. You had the chance to march out in the Parade of Champions yesterday. How did that feel?
It was very exciting. I mean, it's nice to see all the people that used to play against that aren't playing anymore, and it was really good.
Great, fantastic. Thanks for joining us, Bob. So in that Sherry Madog game, Madog is leading Julie Tippin 3-0. Tippin with the hammer. 2-2 tie, Ald and Ballston. And over on sheet D, Jacqueline Harrison leading Heather Hagestad 3-1. And on sheet E, it's 3-1. Corey Hagestad leading Scott Bailey. Bailey with the hammer in 4. Okay, that's your update. From the ice to your device, back up to the booth with Ian and Rebecca.
Thanks so much, Jason, for that. As we can see, lots of excitement going on here in this afternoon's draw. Here on our feature sheet, sheet C, Morgan putting her first stone into the, basically on the tee line there. And Lisa answering back with a corner guard. So Morgan's second shot here in the 4th end.
Line's fine. Lots of room right now. Just halfway.
And we are joined in the booth here this afternoon with none other than
We're tight.
Doug Kreviatsik, father of
Let die now.
Lynn Kreviatsik here today. So Dougie, you kind of have multiple reasons for being here this week. Obviously, you're the vice chair of the Ontario Curling Association.
Yeah.
And secondly,
Stick around.
you're here obviously to watch your
Gotta
daughter,
stick your shooter.
Lynn. Which one takes a more important role?
Well, I think at this time it's watching Lynn and cheering her on. But we, as you know, we've got OCA business throughout the week, and I'll have to take my respite away from the game in order to make sure the business gets done.
Excellent. So obviously, this is only the second time in the history of the Recharge with Milk Tankard and Ladies Scotty Tournament of Hearts that we've actually had a combined event. What do you think of it so far?
Oh, I think they've done a fantastic job here in Coburg. Not only is the venue spectacular, I really like the fact that the draw is co-ed. I've been to a few of the women's events in the past, and sometimes the morning or afternoon games are not overly well attended. The crowds here have been fantastic, and so it's good for all the curlers. So great on them.
It has been an exciting week. Last night we had our Parade of Champions, and we are also joined here this afternoon by Rick Maraska, who is the chair of the Ontario Curling Association. Rick, we had a great evening last night, and I know all the guys I talked to, and even myself, obviously having the opportunity to be part of it. It was a very special evening where we could celebrate and honor all those champions. What's sort of the OCA's view on an event like that and doing future events?
Thanks, Ian. Working collaboratively with the ministry to reach out and assist with funding so that we can bring back and recognize past champions in Ontario that have given so much to our great sport is something that we really are looking forward to being able to continue, because it's the players on the ice that have given to the game. We've got the fans in the stands, and the nice thing is that all of the people here that are competing in this event are trying to achieve the level of the people that came here last night to be celebrated. So it's something that the OCA wants to continue to work with organizations and the ministry to continue to recognize the contributions that these players are making to the game.
It was a fantastic evening. I know I enjoyed myself immensely. Obviously, one of the big moves from the Ontario Curling Association this year is to a move to our venue being streaming. There's been some criticism for it, but there's been a lot of positives. What is your thinking on it, and why have we gone down this path?
The board and the executive director have looked at what's the best way that we can promote our sport in the province and get it and make it readily available feasibly to the fans in Ontario that would like to see the sport. Streaming is a way that people around the world can access our wonderful sport, not just locally. I know right now I've talked to some friends that are in Mexico, and they're down there for a few months, and they've been watching the streaming live. So it really opens things up, and streaming is a way that a lot of sports are being televised now, and it's the way of the future. Ontario is leading the charge, and I know that a lot of other provinces in the country and a lot of other amateur sports are looking down this road. The quality is great, and working with TSL, they're very apt to want to continue to work with the Ontario Curling Association to bring this sport to the forefront to fans across the world.
Well, we've had some unbelievable feedback. Obviously, the quality of the imagery, the quality of the commentating. Can I say that? And even the quality of our crew has been second to none. So you know what? I think this product is outstanding, and I hope it continues to grow. You always wonder if as sort of ambassadors to the sport and leaders of the sport, do we have a role in growing the sport around the world? And if we can bring high quality curling to everybody around the world, does it help grow the game? And so I guess I'm going to pose that to you, Dougie. Like, any thoughts there?
Oh, I think so. I know from firsthand experience, my daughter, she lives over in Sweden. She formerly played with Rachel on her team. In Sweden, one of the key things was getting access to Canadian television in order to watch curling. And she uses it as a teaching tool for the teams that she's been coaching with. Now that this is a streamable event, this is another tool for other countries to start to use to improve the sport. And I think as countries get better, so too will we get better, because we have to get better to remain number one in the world.
Excellent. Obviously, the Ontario Curling Association, with its over 55,000 members, we are kind of the largest curling association in the world. And and I think being a leader, maybe sort of taking steps that maybe aren't necessarily Me Too type steps. You've got to always be the leader in that business. So I think this is a step in the right direction.
Oh, I agree, Ian. I think that we have to be careful that we're not on the bleeding edge, we're leading edge. But this is you look around at other sports, the way people are looking at all media, and streaming seems to be the direction. The future is in our kids, and our kids are watching it on their cell phones, they're watching it on their iPads. We have to go there. And it's also accessible to remote areas. As long as you have access to internet, you're going to have access to curling.
100%. I think that was sort of half the issue last year, that cable network is only covering 30% of the province, and so we're trying to get to a wider base if we can.
Nosing, little flop to center line. Okay.
Back to our game here. Clancy Grandy just nosing that center stone and trying to maintain that control rock.
So you slid okay, you just got it across you.
So Rick, last question before I let you go here is that obviously you've got a board meeting coming up with respect to the OCA. Is there any initiatives that you can share with us?
Ian, the OCA Board of Directors is constantly working hard to grow the sport of curling and reach out and not only work with the curlers that you're seeing out here on the ice at the competitive level, but definitely the sustainability of curling clubs in the province. I don't know, recently this week it's been on the media, a lot of the challenges that our clubs are facing. And the Ontario Curling Association, one of its mandates right now, and my mandates, is to ensure that we can be there to work and support the clubs, because there's a lot of bums in the seats here that belong to curling clubs around our province, and without these people in curling clubs wouldn't be there. So we want them, that's one of the items on the agenda this week, and most definitely reviewing our policies and our governance model to ensure that we're meeting the strategies that and the goals that we've set out for ourselves in our strategic plan. So looking forward to a productive meeting with a great team that I have working around the table with me, and looking forward to a great weekend of curling here as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Really enjoyed having you guys here, and I appreciate you taking your time to come sit with us for this end. Thanks, Dougie. Thanks, Rick.
Well, that was great. Thanks very much to those guys for coming and sitting in with us up here in the booth for a few minutes.
Well, the OCA is just, a long time ago it used to be, more than competitions. Well, it's true. They run all the provincially run competitions, which there's currently 31 different events in Ontario. Obviously, this men's and ladies event, there are only 2 of the events. We covered juniors, seniors, masters, stick, wheelchair. There are a bunch of different events that get run. But obviously the OCA is always striving to bring a value add to their member clubs.
Okay, line's good. Clean it. Line's good. Clean it. Line's tight. Hard.
Ooh, this is taking off on Rachel.
Hard.
She doesn't want to tap Allison in.
Okay, roll it. Yep.
Ooh. Lucky to get by.
10?
Yeah, which way are you going?
This way.
Rachel did have an opportunity for 2 there, but that will be nullified here by the Allison Flaxey hit.
10, try and roll under that. Sounds like salt and vinegar, like. Yeah.
This is running, looks like it's going to roll out. And it looks like this end's going to be leading to a blank end. Rachel Homan will blank this end and retain the hammer going into the 5th end of play.
Because we took less on mine on the curly side.
Rachel tries to throw it down a spot where she can learn some information. So there you have it, a completion of 4 ends of play now, and it's 1-all right now. And we will be right back from the Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts, live from Cobourg, Ontario, only on Title Sports Live. Welcome back to Cobourg, Ontario, site for this year's ladies Scotties Tournament of Hearts. We're live inside here at the Cobourg Community Center with our feature game between Allison Flaxey and Rachel Homan. After 4 ends of play, we've got a tie score of 1-1. Very conservative game so far, Rebecca. What do we think Allison's going to have to do to try to get a leg up here, and or even Rachel?
Exactly, very low scoring game so far, tied at 1. We'll see here, Rachel with the Homan, with the hammer, playing the 5th end. How aggressive she wants to get to try and score her 2 here.
She kind of,
Line's okay.
Well, it's actually for a Rachel style of game. It's actually been very, very open. So I'm surprised that she's not trying to mix it up a little bit against the Flaxey team.
Starting to curl now.
You know, both teams are playing their cards very close to their vest, and so you know they don't want to see anybody sort of get out of hand or have a huge opportunity.
Exactly, a couple opportunities where they could have been drawing around guards and chose to hit them instead. So see how things shape up here in the 5th.
Yeah.
Lots of action coming to you across all the sheets right now. Kathy Auld and Megan Baldson currently tied at 2 after 3 ends of play.
Line's
4 ends of
good.
play.
Yep. Gotta go.
Sherry Madaw leading Julie Tippin by a large margin right now, 5-0.
Drop.
And Jacqueline Harrison leading Heather Hegestead by 1 by a score of 3-2. Scott Bailey just scored a huge 3-ender in the 4th end to go ahead of Corey Hegestead by a score of 4-3.
So a bit of a surprise here on our sheet. Rachel called the tick on that center line guard. It was missed by Lisa, so giving Morgan the opportunity to draw around.
Okay, line's fine.
Yeah, some uncharacteristic misses by Lisa here, so it's you know it's interesting to see how
We're back.
Rachel will adjust her game plan based on Lisa not making those shots. You know, ordinarily Skip's kind of got a vision of how the game's going to go when people are making their shots. A lot of times they don't really discuss a whole lot of what they're going to do if somebody's missing their shot.
Right to the back.
Added too much more, I think.
I think booms up is what stopped it, though.
Yeah,
Clean that ass through.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was going to be back 8 on its own.
Yeah. Line's good. 6. Line's good.
Let's go, little. Yeah. 6. 5.
Wait only.
Gotta go. Really gotta go. 4. 3. It's not there.
13-4. Yeah.
13-4. And that comes up as a guard.
Yeah, top 4 lane. This should finish nice at the end.
Okay. Big opportunity here for Lynn to come around this guard again. Try and put this one in the top of the house.
Yeah.
Buried.
I thought swooping weight, not 2 on its own.
I didn't think she really got out there. Go line.
Really hard.
I think Lynn Kreviatsik may have softened her releaser a little bit.
If we had another look at that delivery, you can kind of see her index finger just slide off the end a little bit.
Yeah.
She sort of got it going.
At least it'll be tight. Normal.
Weight would have been good, I think.
Well, I'm kind of pleased here to see, like, Rachel could make a play on that shot still in the back of the forefoot. As we saw, there is a port there, but instead she's going to play relatively conservatively here and try to make the in-turn double.
Yep, hard. All the way. Gotta go. Normal. Gotta go. For any roll.
Oh, God, this is curling up hard. She doesn't want to guard it.
Gotta.
And that is disaster.
Oh, do you see that spin back? Wow.
Well, not relative disaster. It looked like it was going to stay
that we've been here.
frozen on the corner of that rock, but it seemed to spin back.
Seems to come
I
up
think
there.
You could, afford to give a couple feet more.
Like only there, kind of?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Well, yeah, they're not really staggered.
No,
It's fun
you're
back.
nice.
It was
They're
staggered.
fun
And then
back.
it's sat there.
When they pound it like that, it just gets it out.
Lynn Kraviatsik going to retry that in-turn draw.
Okay, line's good.
A little wider this time.
No.
This is falling. T, like, makes that awful.
I don't think it's falling. It's just not curling, and it's just going straight. So
I think we're better off to be back.
Yeah. Curl's just so late.
I think Rachel may take on this shot through the port here. Try to hit and roll inside if she can.
Yeah, that was great.
Just such a big
Try to
difference.
pressure Allison's Flaxey's team to respond with some sort of in-turn draw.
Hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, the center guard's tolerance here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comes back with hack.
Right.
Board! Yep!
Board!
Whoa!
Is it at least board?
Board
Solid
one.
board.
Solid board! Yep! Whoa! Yep! Solid board! Off!
Tried my best.
Nice throw.
Nice shot there
Nice.
by Joanne.
Nice call. She rounded it, so it was like it's off the judge.
Like
yeah.
hack?
Yeah, I have a thick half.
Or we should let it go and react more like that.
I was just saying I have a thick half.
Half?
Nice shot by Joanne Courtney. If she had a tiny bit less weight, she would have finished up a little harder and rolled further buried. This is going to give Clancy Grandy to actually throw the exact same shot with a tiny bit less weight and possibly get that finish that Joanne Courtney did not have.
Close! Yep!
Whoa.
Whoa!
Yep.
Yep!
Whoa.
Yep! Whoa!
Whoa.
Yep!
Whoa.
Really close.
Whoa.
Yeah, just go that way.
No,
You're
just
gonna sit in the pocket. Good. Nice
Nice
shot,
shot by Clancy.
Well, a little bit more room this time, and I think Emma can play this shot even if she throws a heater. She's probably got room to actually go right into the side of the other yellow stone, possibly even make a double.
Probably better off to be in the middle of the hole. Makes the roll a little bit harder. Yeah.
Whoa! Off.
Oh my God.
Don't want to wreck on that guard. Oh,
Oh my God.
bit of a lucky
Oh my
break
God.
there.
Sorry.
Spins it dead frozen. Rachel kind of gave Allie a bit of a
T-line?
I'm sorry
You can
there.
afford to tap it a hair.
Well, that's let court, and like that is like the ultimate fluke.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, in curling, that sometimes it happens.
Slid like tight, and I gave it a soft set.
And what an end-changing shot, because now she's frozen to it. Changes Allison Flaxey's shot here, where she's going to get Clancy Grandy to come down and sort of freeze tap this stone.
Yep. Really hard, Lynn. Really
Hard
hard.
line, really hard. Really hard. Whoa.
Well,
Yes,
she's not
you
going to
wanna
want to
stay
tap
on it.
this into the
Yeah,
rings.
go more.
Like,
Okay.
you have to almost slide wide and round it a little. Yeah.
Curled so early.
Wow.
Back four.
That one fluke shot changed the whole landscape of this end.
Not horrible.
Yeah.
Back four. I thought you threw that like mid-8.
It really did.
This spot
Things
should be
setting
good
up
at A.
very well for
So,
Team Homan now.
Same speed as like this intern.
Well, the
I should just
three-ender is
adjust for
definitely
that.
in play right now.
We are getting
But the only shot that's going to be available to Allison Flaxey is absolutely nosing the stones on in the forefoot there, and not hopefully, removing her stone from the
I
back.
think like the guard weird coming around.
Wow,
And
this
then
one
staying
going
frozen.
sideways
Keep
now
going.
too.
Yep. Oh, drag it.
Well, even if she could tap it frozen or split it open a little bit.
Nice sweep, guys.
So this is pretty locked. Freeze, I think, hey?
Yeah.
Take this turn now, though. This is probably fairly awkward.
So I was a little tight, too.
It doesn't make sense to hit, does it?
I don't think so, because it just, like, no, I think you just make the perfect freeze, right?
Okay.
Do you like here?
Yeah, this way should finish a bit more.
Do you want even, yeah.
That looks pretty
That
close.
looks pretty close.
Well, I disagree with Allison here.
It's got to make the freeze anywhere like a hair on the high side is pretty good. Yeah, we can afford to tap an inch or two.
Kind of
What do
rule
you,
for freezing is you don't want to be the
Kind of what I was throwing this way last
the
time.
top rock or the back rock.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, almost wherever she puts it here, Rachel's gonna be able to slash all her stones out, and her rock will leave. That's why I think the shot is to try to tap it on the nose with just through the house weight, get rid of your back stone, but stay frozen on her.
Line's great.
Hard line.
Exactly, depending how she sets up these
whoa,
angles.
Whoa! Whoa!
Rachel might have a shot.
No!
Sort of if you think of it as a sandwich, it's where the bread goes and the meat stays. If she's trying to get it on the face.
Good call.
Well, you're going to see the Rachel Homan heat come here. And she's going to try and make a triple takeout if she can. She's going to try and hit this yellow as thin as she can. Hopefully careen over and remove the other Flaxey stone from the back of the 8-foot and lay 2 points. And she absolutely stuffs it, which would be a bit of a miracle. She could even lay 3.
Yeah, not sure the angle.
Don't think
Quite
that's
set up for that, but
curl, eh?
this spot does curl, so I think Rachel can actually absolutely rifle this thing. Well, we had David Mathers the other day at 5.8 for his hog to hog.
Yes.
Really close. Yeah.
Off, off.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yes.
Hard. Hard.
Woo.
Hard.
Want to make sure.
Oh, great
What a shot that is.
I was trying to roll it
Great
up so she didn't
shot.
have the like stick behind the guard.
Yeah, that's too much.
Look at her come out. Great extension right up the line. Lots of handle to keep it. The lots of handle keeps it much straighter. Wow, there's a fantastic game-changing shot.
That's a great shot. Allie now gonna hit shot stone, try and roll her shooter somewhere under cover.
Well, she's got 2 sides, and I think ordinarily you probably like to roll it under your own guard versus the opponent's.
Yep,
Little light.
yep, really hard,
Little light, go.
really hard. Whoa, 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 yep, yes. No roll. You're rolling.
Go, Rach. Go. Go. All the way. Keep going.
Well, Rachel going hard on that because she knows that her top stone is that she can split it and try to get 3 points here.
Stay on that. Just saw it. Yeah.
Clancy sort of had
so
them
the
off there
intern
on
that I
this
threw,
sweep
yeah, like
and
I-
just
yeah,
lost it.
Okay. Yeah. Even if we tap it nose, it's fine. Yeah.
If I get on this side, it might hang for a while.
Okay. Yeah.
They're just biting at the back there.
You only need T line.
Yeah, transfer T.
Great comment there from Emma, just reminding Rachel, this is just a T-line weight shot. You're throwing an out-turn draw, and basically you're just hoping that you feather tick your top blue, get it into the rings, and then your shooter rolls onto the rings.
Go ahead. Can't hurt it.
Whoa. Never. Never. No.
She's trying hard to get over there. Trying really hard. The last thing she want to do
in
is.
the rings.
One blue.
And that is a huge momentum changer.
Absolutely.
One blue, yeah.
She made huge shots to line up her 2 or 3 points, and then only gets 1. So after 5 ends of play here, Rachel Homan will lead by a score of 2-1.
Another 3-point swing here in this game. Lots of teams heading into their 5th end break here. Our on-ice reporter Jason Chang is ready down at ice level with an update.
Thanks very much, Ian and Rebecca. I am on ice level, and we're in the 5th end break for many of these games. I'm joined by 1998 Olympic silver medalist and 2004 Ontario tanker champion, Mike Harris. Mike, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Now, you've had a bit of a rough week. You've even missed the first game due to some broadcasting obligations.
Right.
Tell me how the week's gone.
Well, pretty awful, actually. No, well, you know what? It's one of those things where, we just didn't play very well early, and then you start going the wrong direction, and it's just hard to pick up any momentum. And I think the last couple of games we're suffering from a lack of interest, which is not great. But we have one more game left. We're playing Greg Ballston tonight, and I know it's an important game for Greg. So for the field, we need to show up and play one more. And we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Now, your team doesn't play that much on the tour. You guys go into the zones and the playdowns sort of a start of the season, in fact, for you guys.
Yeah.
Tell me how difficult that is.
It's not difficult at all, actually. We have 3. I said the four of us we're very like-minded. So we said at the beginning of the season we're going to play 1 or 2 spiels, and we'll go in the playdown, see how it goes. And then last year we made it all the way to the semifinal, lost the next round, and so we had a good run last year. But the challenge is when you're not playing a lot, it's hard to be consistent, and that's what we're going through this week. And it's one of those things. It's okay. We're okay with it because we accept each other's. We've had a couple of spares coming in this week. Our second couldn't make challenge round last weekend, so it's okay. We're enjoying ourselves because we're playing for the right reasons, and we're just out here having some fun.
Now, you were in the Parade of Champions yesterday, one of our great champions in Ontario. I remember watching you win the Olympic silver medal in Nagano, Japan in 1998. How did it feel to march out here with all these great champions of Ontario?
It was great, actually, and strangely, we had Colin Mitchell, who was our second on that team. We curled together. He spared for us 2 games this week, and I hadn't curled with Colin in 16 years, so it was great to do that, and nice to see some old friends out here, and I know there was a few missing as well, but and you kind of remember, when you're going through it, you don't always maybe appreciate how difficult it is, and then last night it was great to see you're included on a list of with some pretty special names. So it was a nice touch last night put on by Curl On.
Well, of course, you also had Richard Hart from your 1998 team. He's out here playing with Glenn Howard. The only guy missing is George Carries. How does it feel to be out of the broadcast booth and on the ice this week?
I said last year was great. This year, not so great. But I'm appreciative of this year. This will probably be my last game tonight. I've got obligations next year for the Olympics, so this will probably be my final tanker game, and I'm just going to be out here and enjoy it.
Well, Mike, we hope it's not the final one. There's always the year after. Thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, there's always seniors. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Mike. All right, just recapping the scores from the other games. Over on sheet 1, Kathy Ald and Megan Balston. Megan Balston leading 3-2. They're playing the 6th. Kathy Ald has the hammer there. Kathy looking for a win to try to assure herself of a tiebreaker position. Over on sheet B, it's a final. Sherry Middaugh had to win this afternoon, and she did. 7-0. That improves her record to 3-4. Drops Julie Tippin to 3-4. Both teams needing some help on the other sheets. Over on sheet D, Jacqueline Harrison leading Heather Hegestead 3-2. Heather Hegestead, also one of those 2-4 teams, needs a win to stay alive. And finally, over on sheet E, it's the only men's game on the ice this afternoon. It's a 4-4 tie in the 5th end break. Corey Hegestead and Scott Bailey. Remember, if Scott Bailey wins, he is into the playoffs. All right, that's the update from the ice to your device. Let's go back to the booth with Ian and Rebecca.
Thanks very much, Jason. As you said, lots of interesting games going on here. Great to talk to Mike Harris too, get some perspective going into his last draw tonight.
I curl with Mike, and you cannot curl with a better guy. Just a tremendously great strategist, a great teammate, and just a great guy to actually be around. Lots of fun. I spend a lot of time with Mike right now because we both coach Scottish curling teams, and he's coaching Tom Brewster, and I'm coaching Dave Murdoch, and he's gotten the better of me this past year. So we're both headed back over the pond on the 14th of February, and we're going to be over there for the Scottish National Championships, and we will be going head to head once again. But I guess, it tears at my heart a little bit when all of a sudden he says, this will be his last game tonight. And, because I remember when I was sort of stepping away from the game because felt the career was over. And, I think that's kind of the decision and place that Mike is right now. I'm sure he'll always be close to the game because he's a tremendous commentator and brings a lot to the game.
Absolutely.
So obviously we're after 5 ends of play here. We've got, in our feature game, we've got Rachel Homan leading by the score of 2 points to 1. Allison Flaxey will take the hammer here in the 6th end. Try to mount her 2 or more. Everybody cued in on all the different games across all these sheets because they've all got bearings on the final round robin standings, especially that game on sheet 1 over there with Kathy Auld versus Megan Baldston. If Kathy Auld does lose that game, all of a sudden she will bring all the 4 loss people into the fold.
Exactly, that makes it very interesting with Mada having just beat Tippin, both those teams at 4 losses now, so they're going to be watching that game very closely.
But then, to do it again, you don't see that happen, right? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what's going
Lisa
on.
Weigel starting us off here on our feature sheet. Joanne and Emma really trying to drag that. Basically just left that as a corner guard for Team Flaxey.
Corner. Yeah.
Okay.
Lisa struggling a little bit this afternoon.
She said she'll give her a last flat rock.
Yeah, I agree.
My sense is that Lisa's got a straight stone here, and she's having a difficult time sort of getting it to the intended spot that Rachel was hoping to get it to. Well, and this is typical in the after the 5th end of play. When they let the ice sit and nobody's on it for 5 minutes, it kind of sets up, and the speed actually comes up. It gets quicker usually gets quicker for the first 3 or 4 rocks, and then the ice seems to settle back into where it was. Obviously, Allison had the opportunity to throw up her corner guard and try to mount an offense, but now with slipping into the rings,
Control, weight's good.
this is going to allow Lisa Weigel to hit that stone.
I didn't think you were going to be where you were.
10. 10.
2. Okay. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Is it too early to hit? We're just kind of. You don't like a guard over here at all, do you?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. Guard that.
Okay. Just to try and generate some offense here. Yeah, just a halfway.
Well, Clancy Grandy.
Yeah. 1.5, 2. Gotta just be
She's
one.
not afraid
1, 2.
to speak her mind,
Yeah, are
that's
you
for
in?
sure.
No, we're not in, but we're really tight.
That one though. Pass TSL.
We can quarter freeze it.
Okay. Yes. Just as close together as you can get them. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I just
Things
No,
getting
I like it.
very
Yeah, I like
interesting
it.
now
You just
this
need
end.
that to be like 20 feet higher. And it's
Rachel's
really
gut reaction to throw the center line
At
guard.
least it's kind of
It's a little bit
awkward,
of an
I guess.
because so I was just thinking we
Well,
could keep
with
it
some of these
on some sort of
playoff
side,
scenarios
like,
shaping
after
up,
that if they try and screw around.
Yeah.
So.
if we end up having 5 teams tied for third place,
Yeah.
we would need 3 extra tiebreaker games
Yeah.
to determine that third place team. And unfortunately, for one team, it could mean 3. For 2 teams or 1 team, sorry, it could mean 3 extra games.
That works.
For the other 3
Yeah.
teams, it could mean
This
only
is the-
2 extra games. But this is
Yeah.
where they will
Yeah.
look at everybody's win-loss records in amongst those 5 teams. And then what they do is they see who played who and who beat who, and they will rank them on that.
Yeah.
And then after that, then they go to the last shot draw if teams are tied with the same record.
Exactly, their shootout score. So things shaping up very interestingly here
No!
on the women's side.
No! 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 Way was close.
This is that same spot again where it's been historically so difficult to get those rolls.
Well, it's this could be the Manitoba side of Allison
just
and
didn't
wanting to hit rocks. You know, to me, I think the first thing you want to do is try to get position behind that center guard. No, she didn't have to hit that stone until later in the end. If she may need it to get in there to score, or maybe she needs it to score extra points.
Hey.
Another nose hit there from
Pretty
Joanne.
Good. Same throw. Heavy. Probably pretty good if it wasn't heavy.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Lynn Kreviatsek here going to hit this shot stone, try to flop in behind cover if she can. She's got the whole half of the sheet to roll to.
Well, no, 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 no.
This
On
one's
its-
like board.
Waiting, and
No,
Scoop it?
no, no, no.
Oh, we're
Yeah. 10.5.
okay. Why wouldn't we
Might
try and
be
go behind the other one?
the exact only spot she couldn't roll to.
Okay.
Rachel
I think
initially
I can only
thinking
make
there's
it
a
with
hole
that.
there.
Yeah.
well, I think there is a hole
Yeah,
there.
they're gonna try it.
Sorry, we totally could have gone behind the other one if.
Emma Miskew down this
Yeah.
relatively straight path here.
Yeah. Which is where it's most important.
Good looking shot coming
I
here. If
feel
they
ya,
got it
man.
past the top,
I
no.
feel ya. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Just goes over the top of those other 2 stones as well. I think they were hoping if they did wreck on that top one, they might be able to punch their
That's
blue
like top
stone into
12,
the
right?
rings,
You want?
but not quite.
Yep, top 12, top 8.
Okay, sounds good.
You can go, well, that's better. Higher's better.
Top 12. Okay, guys. Yeah, good speed here. Just top 12.
Okay, this. Stay close.
Close, yep.
Yep.
Room.
Whoa,
Go deep.
Clancy Grandy here going to try and get around this corner guard if she can.
Yep.
Really
That's okay.
hard.
Go.
Yes.
Still go.
Hard. You want to
Hard.
touch it?
She'll actually sort of pop out the other side. This will give Emma Miskew the opportunity to play a little hit and flop.
Hey.
Yeah.
She doesn't have much room to flop too.
Yeah.
She's,
Might be a hair
she can
faster
roll
here.
about a foot,
Stay on it, yeah.
maybe
What
2.
was that? Pardon? That got real fast now.
Should be good. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's close. Whoa. Whoa.
So it's back up to like full speed,
Whoa.
like from what we've seen earlier.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah.
Never!
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Can't quite
You
get
have
the
air?
roll under, so
Yeah, I
it's
have a
still
bit
going
of
to be
air.
available
Just
for
hack.
Clancy.
Hack. Okay. Just let her know what the speed's like.
Clean.
I didn't really extend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Whoa.
Clancy's
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
chance here to make the roll here.
Yes.
She could set up a
Really
3-ender.
hard. Really hard. No
Easy.
roll.
No.
Leave it.
Real nice.
Very good shot.
Good sweep.
Hair too far. Good call.
So close. It just kind of. I didn't
No,
really.
it's tricky.
There's
'cause,
another
like,
look
they're
at that
so
hog line in. So much finish there.
Well, she rolled to a pretty good spot here too, because I'm not sure. Rachel's got to be really
kick
careful
that
with
was
this
hacked
angle.
on
Yeah.
play, and now it's
Yeah.
that
much
extra
more.
6 feet or whatever.
Your first one,
Because
like,
I
they
think
told
when
me
you
we
hit
were
this stone
back
on this
house
side
or
of the
whatever,
rock,
like I totally knew I was getting
the back stone, because they're so close together,
She's like, sorry, I
gonna
thought we were
carry.
trying to go just to get by.
my sense is
So
that
then she's like, okay, we're by.
it may carry just
Yeah.
past it
Yeah.
and totally miss it. I think she's fortunate that she actually hit it on the
Probably,
nose
same type of
versus
situation,
hitting it on that side. Because
Yeah,
if she
like
hit it on
half
that side that she
pocket.
wanted to,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
there would have
so.
been more carry. But great shot
Wondering
just
if
to
there's
eliminate
any
one of the
merit in trying to split
Flaxey
almost,
stones.
but-
She actually rolls to maintain sort of that
But it's
control
out
rock
if
as
you
well.
want.
Probably too early, eh? Because you kind of got to make this first, right? And then if you get a miss on the runner or
Right.
whatever. But yeah,
So you want to be just full 8, eh? Even
Yep.
top 12
Yep.
isn't bad.
yep, I like it.
Okay.
Here?
Team Homan leading
think
2
so,
to
yeah.
1
This-
after
this speed'll be good.
5 ends of play.
They'll finish nice.
As we're into skip stones here in the 6th end.
So do you think it's that fast here too?
Allison Flaxey trying to draw around that center line guard.
Not.
They talked
Okay.
about keeping it fairly high
So at that point you figure it's
in
like a
the
15
rings, I
maybe?
think, just so that if Rachel made that little short run back, she would still have a draw for 2.
So you want
Well,
like
yeah,
probably
I think
closer to a
to
405,
me
now
the
410.
perfect shot is that she's going to have to get probably full 4-foot.
Unless she's doing something.
Rachel will probably walk over and hit this other yellow, but she could probably roll and bite the back of the 4-foot. So hence, if she can bite the 4-foot, she needs. Allison would need room
Wait a bit.
to bite the 4-foot down the exact same path that she's throwing
Titles
now.
and room, guys. No deeper than top 8. No.
No, lots of line.
Morgan. Really hard then. Go, Morgan. Push harder. Go. You gotta be on. Good sweep. That really seemed to come down.
That's okay.
Just gets a biter.
Yeah,
It just seemed to like hit a wall.
yeah. I got like maybe a hair wide of a set, I thought.
Yeah,
with
but
it,
I wasn't expecting
quite
that
that.
track to do that right now.
Yeah, no, I
I
agree.
could have seen this track do that, but
Well, good opportunity for Rachel to be able to nullify that rock by biting the top rings.
Ooh, I feel like that could be back.
If she hits and rolls to the back of the 4-foot,
because based on the way I saw those other ones run like early,
Allison Flaxey's going to have to make some form of a run back just to even score.
yeah, it's true. It's just if you have this side, unless you're starting in.
Right. Yeah.
Rachel will not be happy with that attempt. And actually, now this is going to give Allison Flaxey the opportunity here to play a split herself for 3 points.
Exactly, that's a big miss there from Rachel.
Yeah, that's you have a better chance playing into it. Yeah. You have to hit it thinner if you cross face, but
So
it's still
last
there.
end, Rachel had the opportunity for a split and 3 points and sailed it through the rings.
Like that's what I was thinking tight ice with less weight or with more weight.
Now Allison Flaxey has
really
that same
like it's
opportunity.
Not that tight, but it's a little dangerous coming this way. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
So I played.
I like playing skinny way this way. I think.
Into it, you mean?
Like this way.
Oh, across
yeah,
face.
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
And then we're gonna be guaranteed our 2 then.
Okay.
I just feel like this seems
Yep, that sounds good.
dicey to me.
Yep.
So
you're just essentially throwing straight draw, eh? And we'll call the sweep to rub it.
Oh, I probably got to throw back house, hey?
Yeah, you don't need any more than back 8.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Okay, because you're hitting it so thin that.
Do you think this seems close with back 8? Or do you want to hear
I think
more?
that does seem close. Because I think this is going to track.
Maybe just a hair more.
Okay.
Quarter rock with back 8's close. So do you think back 8, it's the same. So I, okay. Yep.
Allison Flaxey. Last rock here in the 6th end.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, whoa, no, 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 no. Yep. Whoa.
No, no.
Whoa. No.
She's going to be really close.
Really hard on 8. Really hard on 8. Go, go, go.
Great shot there from
Good,
Allison. She'll score 3 points here in the 6th end. She's going to go up 4-2 against Rachel Homan.
Like that would have stopped, do you think, if we didn't hit it? Yeah.
What a great shot for Rachel, or not Rachel, sorry, for Allison there to take that 4-2 lead. And we're going to throw it over to a little package of clips during our first 6 ends of play.
I thought we were going to just touch the back.
Yeah, real nice.
Back here live
So is it in?
in Coburg, Ontario at the Coburg
Starting to
Community
curl.
Centre.
I know, we can't sweep it.
Site for this year's Ladies Ontario Scotties
it's
Tournament of
on the
Hearts.
sideways. We're going to be
My
in.
name is Ian Tetley. I'm here with Rebecca Wickesher.
Shoot.
And that's an unbelievable split by Allison Flaxey. Obviously, Rachel missing hers the end before,
No, it's on. Yeah.
and then Allison just
Yeah,
making that. So that's a key turning point.
It sure is. That was such an excellent shot. They talked a lot about it, how they wanted to play
That
it
curled real hard
to make
too.
sure they at least got 2 points, and really well executed there by Allie. They're going to take a 2-point lead here
Yeah.
playing the 7th end. Team Homan does have the hammer, so they're trying to get a corner guard up there.
Yeah,
Two.
Pretty good shot there
Yeah.
from Lisa.
Okay, you got it. Halfway.
Morgan's first rock just biting the top of the house. Gonna try and throw a guard on that stone now.
More line on this one.
Yeah. Nice here.
Okay, starting to go.
I think we're to you. It's just like curling so hard.
Good.
Good.
I don't think it's there either.
Nice shot there from Morgan.
Kind of like what happened in my draw.
Yeah.
Kind of cut off the in-turn draw around their corner guard, so Lisa having to take the out turn.
Fine, but if you're like this, it's gonna sail, and it's this, so it's so like counterintuitive. You think like.
Got such a lively crowd in here for this afternoon's draw.
It's close.
Pretty full house this afternoon, and they're very lively. Heather Hagestad just making a nice shot. On sheet D, they were in a bit of trouble. She made a great freeze, so the crowd really cheering her on with that one.
So you can try and run or make this. Kind of don't mind this.
Yeah.
Lisa slipped just behind the tee line.
Cross it a hair, and then you'll roll to here, which I think I like.
Yeah. Yeah, this should run nice, Lynn.
So Lynn gonna attempt the run back, trying to leave her shooter in the center line area.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You don't want to just nose this.
No roll.
Close. That's good, Lynn. So close.
Got her shooter pretty much where she wanted to, but
Yeah.
missed that back one.
Good throw. So close. It's nice that, yeah.
Rachel going to
Nice
get
that the guard
Joanne Courtney here.
Stayed where it did too.
So the out turn draw around. And because she's got the one already back open there,
I think it's there.
she's probably going to have a second chance to go around that center guard. One thing she's not going to want to be here is deep and set up any type of double
That's
takeout
deep.
for
It's got to stop.
the Flaxey team.
Curling now?
Yeah.
Yeah, both yours, yeah.
It's back.
Yeah, I think it's getting a little, yeah.
Homan sliding very deep from Joanne.
Well, the only benefit is that to make a double, the angle is really, really steep.
Yeah, I will.
So it's very unlikely. Then Kreviatsik is still going to try to play the hit and roll in behind cover.
Well, it's really hard to feel it. I know what you mean.
Whoa. No. Close. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Hard.
Going to roll out across the face here.
Maybe got a little aggressive on the sweep there, let it over curl a little bit.
Well, this is really going to give Rachel the opportunity here to
Just small adjustment.
get
Joe.
Joanne Courtney to draw in behind
I
again.
think that side's just getting like soft, I think.
Yeah.
Like things are breaking really hard.
Hopefully this time getting it around a top forefoot.
I like
Really
cleaning
good
it.
5. 5. 6. 6. 5. 6.
It's really good.
15 seconds on that one, hog to hog. Definitely speed coming up a little bit.
Nice, Joe.
Very nice shot there from Joanne.
15-2.
So speed's good. It's just
Good to know.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, right on it.
Clancy Grandy, third stone for Allison Flaxey. Also the other half to John Epping's second, Patrick Jansen.
Yes.
I kind of got it back out.
We're
No,
in
no,
right
no,
now.
then. Off, 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 off.
That's always important information for the
No.
the thrower to relay immediately to the
can't
sweepers,
bounce on
letting them
this.
know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
she did
yeah,
set it
yes!
back.
Hard!
The rock has now refound its line.
Go, gotta go, really gotta
And
go.
try and
hard,
freeze
hard,
this
hard,
on.
hard. Go, 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 get it by, okay.
Ooh.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I think that was a bad skipping call. You couldn't.
Just heavy line was fine. Would have been fine. What was that?
Yeah, it's not, I gotta be there though. Yeah. If it's heavy, come a little light, it's also okay. Don't want to bounce off of ours. This feels
Because
like
the yellow rocks
just as
up
quick as
front there to the left of center are lined up onto the button. Rachel's going to want to make sure that this one gets into the top 8 foot and cuts off any access that Allison might have on raising those rocks onto the rock on the button.
Whoa, switch!
I don't know what's going on. This one. Yeah.
Emma really struggling with draw weight here.
Is that T-line?
I'm surprised that Allison's going way over here.
Okay.
I think I might be more inclined to play the tap-tap on the
so since I'm
intern
out
side.
wider, do you think it's going to be
Mind you, if she gets position here first, she's always got that for her rocks.
I'm good with that. That's what I was thinking.
I understand the ace right now.
Sorry, I'm really struggling with the judge.
Oh, struggling with everything.
I thought close.
Line's okay. Go then. Line's good. Wait only.
Holding still. Okay, yep.
Hard. Leave it. Leave it. Higher's better. Higher's better.
No, not in. You don't want to be in. Well, just.
That one coming up light as well.
Okay. Just dead out there, eh?
Well, this is definitely going to give the opportunity here to Rachel
Weight to the last
to get Emma
Yeah.
Miskew to try to
I
tap
would have
her
done
last
that too, but
stone
still. Okay, so that's like
up into the 4 foot, or even
the
just
last one, but
if she's a tiny bit
Yeah.
heavy to try to
like a ground to
glance
be.
it
So
off
if you were
the-
like
I think I threw
close.
maybe
the Flaxey stone there in the top 12 foot.
less, I would say.
Right, so if you threw it like essentially close, it came
Yeah.
through at a second difference,
Yeah.
and that's like wide,
Yeah.
12 feet.
But didn't really curl.
No,
like
nothing.
It just,
Nothing.
Whoa.
And I can't imagine if they did.
counterintuitive
Right,
there.
if they leave it,
Yeah.
like, you're
Really
a one
close.
guard.
Yeah.
Gotta go hard. Do not want to tap this in the open.
Took a turn, that's all.
Don't know how much you have of that 3. I don't know that does it. Do you know what I mean?
It'll curl here. You can throw board at it. Either that or we try, but that's,
Whatever you see better.
I like this first.
Well, that's a great shot by
like
Emma
board?
Miskew. At least she gets it in there.
As you can.
Yeah,
But there is
I
an
guess so,
opportunity
eh?
here
Yeah,
for
then I
Allison
like
here to
throwing
play a
board.
little tap, or even play some sort of hack to board weight.
Take a look at it from down
Make
there.
the double raise and get it right on 2-shot stone.
I think if we throw
At
board,
which-
we might get a hair more curl. Half will be close to what we need. Yeah.
She kind of would have
Good
had
board.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
My first, I felt like it was great weight out of my hand. Slid light, gave a nice extension. That's right.
Whoa.
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa! Close!
Close, yeah!
Yeah!
Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa! Off!
Whoa!
Right off! Right off. No, you can't. You can't.
Great shot. really nice shot there by Allie.
It's like good
Yeah,
and
it's
bad.
a nice shot,
Do you
but
wanna
there could be trouble on the horizon here.
That's all you could have done.
Rachel Homan is eyeing up. The run into lay 4 absolutely buried.
Like,
I was thinking
yeah, 6 in
at
one
least
half.
if you flip it
Yeah.
off,
Like at least it gets to make this.
Thinking that she's licking her lips right now and
Have it open. Yeah.
just eyeing this up. I think the only thing she can't do here is if she overthrows it, you know what, I don't think she's got any
You can't
chance.
throw it with less weight.
Yeah. No, you can't throw it. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but.
I think she's going to have to
Yeah.
try and throw
Harder, right?
like a controlled weight. If she hits it high side, it's going to hit on the
Board? Oh, just off nose?
top yellow, and then may just open things up and give Allison Flaxey another opportunity to get in there. She hits this almost just a hair off nose.
Yes, she pretty much has to hit what she can see.
I know, but.
Maybe we should have just guarded.
I don't know if there was
Whoa! Close! Whoa! 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 No.
She floated it just a bit. It's whether it's going to recover. I'm surprised.
It's really trying. Okay.
Just threw it off center line that little bit.
Exactly. Left Team Flaxey's shot over in the side of the forefoot there. Getting another look at that delivery.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Just straightened it out ever so much. Couldn't really come back. Just leaves Team Flaxey's shot stone over there on the side of the tee line.
I know, it's like you want to play hack and make this really, but.
Do you want to call a time?
Yeah,
here?
I do.
Time out.
How much? Like I don't know if you're getting to the inside of that unless you're throwing back line.
No, it's finishing a lot better now, but I still don't think you do. I guess if you.
You just don't want to make it for him either, though. Yeah, I know. That's what my gut's saying,
Like,
but.
just throw up a guard.
So what does she have right now, guys? She's just got to try and make it.
She can run.
She's just got to make
for
the runner
three.
for 3.
So which one do you not want to give her?
I mean, we could freeze on it, but then we're giving away the easy. What do you like? Well,
You could try and like go here.
okay, well, we're stealing one right now. We're shot. So she's got like a tricky runner for her 3, but it's there. Yellow.
On ours for her 3.
Right. Yes. No, on the
three
3.
rock.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Do we get another one in or do we guard it?
You could. You could try and draw here, like that'll curl.
like, and then just give her the
And if you
line.
end up here,
Yeah.
it's not. I mean,
Isn't that awful though if you end up on like the E or the G?
why? It's no different than guarding,
Gives her the slash.
which is still for 3. But slashing across the face is less likely of getting 3 anyways than the runner.
More than a straight guard does.
Okay.
I would say a
Yes.
freeze does, yes,
Okay.
because you eliminate a couple rocks.
Yeah.
Bury it straight behind the guard. I'm just thinking if we can eliminate at least the back one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like here.
I
Right?
like it.
Cross it a hair.
Yeah.
Dead nose is fine, but
Yeah.
as long as your nose or cross a hair, it's
Yeah,
fine.
I think-
Even if you're a hair on the outside, it's not the end
It's
of the
not-
world.
yeah.
You just can't be obviously a
You can
quarter
be
up.
anywhere from nose or better.
So you
yeah.
like here?
Yeah.
That's what I think we've been
Yeah,
giving.
that should be good.
So.
So a good time out there for Team Flaxey with Coach Caleb.
Okay. Yeah, full 8 right in front of it. So like a 405? Okay. Okay.
I think they settled on trying to freeze on that top blue stone.
Yeah.
Well, I think even if she freezes on it, I suspect that Rachel will run the yellow back through the port, trying to get rid of Allison Stone, trying to get 2 points.
Close. Yeah.
Unless she taps her into the rings here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
God,
Whoa, no, we're
You
tapping
don't want to tap them for shot.
No. Okay.
Oh boy.
It's kind of like
Just to like,
yeah.
even that was okay. Just
we should play split offense, so maybe about here with back four.
Still not super easy for Rachel to try and get her second point in there.
We don't have to roll very far.
No, that's it. Yeah.
I don't know if they. I don't know if they're looking at that angle correctly, because I'm not sure she can get second stone.
Yeah, I know. I think with back four, if we have good rotation, we can get in there. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's.
I almost think for.
Yeah, I think like it's.
I think for almost for Rachel
around here, like
that
she
straight
was
back is probably
soft,
just
but I
as
think if we
easy
take her
for
on there
her
with, like back four, good rotation, it should be fine.
as is the draw.
Okay.
I know she's already got 1 point secured. I'm not sure she could do a lot of damage unless she jammed it and spilled it right to the button.
She's fast there.
It's inside that track is so fast.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
I couldn't believe my 5 minute.
Just trying to throw like 405, 410.
Did they tell you what to throw? Because that's exactly what I threw. Or did you?
No.
Did they not?
I asked.
And that's what they said. Because that's exactly what I threw.
Last rock here in the 7th end of play for Rachel Homan, trying to navigate the port here
Anyway.
Oh, anyway.
Whoa.
and make
Close, yeah.
make a bit of a tap draw here.
Where? Hard.
Got to be really cognizant that she doesn't tap her own
Keep going,
opposition
keep going,
in the
keep
ring.
going. You got it. You got it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sit, sit, sit.
That may spin back.
Gonna roll
No.
just too far, and it'll be a score of 1 blue, 1 for Rachel Homan. So she'll trail Team Flaxey 4-3. Team Flaxey will have the hammer here in the 8th end. We will be right back to the 2017 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts, live from Coburg, Ontario, only on Title Sports Live.
You're looking like a 2-week-old haggis.
House chores.
Well, maybe it's time for a little fun.
I could use some fun.
So, what are you gonna do about it, lad?
Well, maybe if I hurry.
Hard, 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 hard.
Yeah. I can finish this later.
The Scotties Tournament of Hearts is at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, February 18th to 26th. Come for the fun and live it live.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2017 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts here in Coburg, Ontario, only on Title Sports Live. We're here at the Coburg Community Centre. Our feature game on Sheet C, Team Homan versus Team Flaxey.
Yep.
Rachel couldn't quite execute that last stone
Clean.
in the 7th end to get her second point. She's forced to take a single there. Team Flaxey now leads 4-3 with the hammer with 3 ends to go.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it, Mark.
Good centerline guard there by Lisa to start us off. Allison Flaxey asking lead Morgan Court for the draw round.
Really close. Yeah, for line. Line only. Okay, you're good. You're good. Just stay close.
Weight's pretty good. No.
Only you.
No, we're
No,
heavy.
you're fine.
We're heavy, Al.
It's running like it's heavy.
We are.
Okay. Just let it die.
Yeah, we'll stop just
I
kinda
think just
on.
let it die.
Okay. We're just a little on the tight side.
Just.
stops splitting the tee line there, pretty nicely buried. Lisa gonna try and freeze to that stone.
Room. He's pretty good. 6. Wait only. It's pretty good. Off if you can. 7. Looks heavy. Yeah. It's bumping. Thirst. No, we can't.
Yeah. Real close.
Never. Never for line. Not if you're bouncing.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Get to the inside of this.
Yeah,
Top 4.
same weight. You got it. I think same is really good, yeah, because you can afford to bump it a rock.
Morgan Court's second stone now.
She didn't add as much.
No.
Looking to get to the inside of that yellow-blue combination.
No. Back in. No.
Good looking shot coming down here.
Yeah, she's gonna be really close.
Yep, go now.
Very nice shot.
Real nice.
Punches
Great
that
shot,
blue into the open a little bit too.
Yep. Just had to make sure it was like kicking enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
It's good.
Whoa. 6. Yes.
Good.
5. 4.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Gonna be on the
Don't roll the
front.
shooter. Take the back one, Em. Take the back
Well,
one.
she's
Yep,
want to
yep,
make
yep.
sure that she
Hard.
taps this enough to make sure there's they can run something back later on. And that's a bit of
Either
a.
that or to here.
Oh, I think to me you've got the opportunity here right now. You draw in right there, and
That's okay. Yeah.
Rachel's in a world of hurt.
Absolutely. I think just peeling only helps Rachel at this point.
Correct. Yeah.
Try and sink another one in here.
And then Kraviatic.
Yeah.
Line's good.
We're out in a bit of a wider path.
Copy. Top 4. Well done. Line's
Seems
great.
to have lots of room.
Top 4. Whoa. Well then, Morgan. No. No.
Just to it.
No, that's fine. On its own is fine.
Good.
Very good shot.
Good call.
It's unfortunate. Like,
Just
it's a
through.
great shot.
Nice, Lynn.
There's,
Good throw.
if Joanne
through
Courtney
weight?
can run this Homan stone straight back and get it into the crotch, she might be able to get rid of 2 of those yellows, maybe even 3, but
Yep. Whoa. Off.
no.
Beauty.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a shot by Joanne Courtney.
10, or do you want to throw board?
That just bailed them out, and she's actually got
Okay.
nice position there as well.
Yeah, she kept a good angle. Those 2 stones in the house. Nicely done.
Nice shot. Go straight, eh?
Yes! Yes! Hard! Hard!
Gotta go hard to get this by. You don't want to take your own out behind it, though, too.
Whoa!
Oh.
9-6, yeah.
Do you like board?
Rachel can't play the double here because if she does, it'll probably jam. The yellow will probably jam on her back blue stone. So she's just going to try to hit this and flop 6 inches or so to
Yep.
the right.
Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Oh. Close. No. Yep. Take it. Whoa. Yep. Beauty.
It's a glorious shot.
That's really good.
Just could not let it over
Oh.
curl.
Think you let her play with that, eh?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Not sure this
Yeah,
is that easy
yeah.
of a shot where that blue is in the top 8, but
Gonna assume the speed's good. Yeah.
How far apart?
Well, what I don't like is that she's basically giving Rachel a free run at hitting that on the nose and flopping it even behind cover. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Big eye, big eye, big eye, big eye. No line, no line.
taking a pretty big risk on this shot.
yeah.
No, can't.
It's not curling at all.
Yeah, I know, but
Hard work.
Okay. What do you like, Grace? I just want to come down.
Taps them in for shot, stone on the top of the button.
What do you think?
Well,
Too much ice. It just ran.
Rachel can almost come down and freeze to the crotch
That
right
weight's
there.
not that off.
Pretty good spot, eh? Yeah.
She stays more on the yellow and the blue.
Okay, because we were like edge button on other side of center. I
Team
think we needed
Flaxey
to
gonna have a tough
start
time removing either of those
on
blue
the right
stones.
side of center to get some curl. Yeah.
Freeze in the pocket.
I think the other shot that Rachel's looking at is that I think she can just
get
make the double takeout.
never mind.
She can almost make the other double takeout, but if she misses, she'll end up jamming it on her back one.
Well, in the pocket.
Lights okay, guys?
This is a bit of a
Line
risk, but at
moving.
the same token, if Emma
do you like
makes
seeing as
this,
I threw this
they're gonna be in a really good
I think if
position
you're
because
pretty similar weight,
probably be 2 stones before Flaxey can get shot stone.
Line's
Roll
good.
line.
Line's
line,
really
roll
good. Freeze it.
Really early, yeah.
Whoa, then. Oh. Yep. Room. Yeah, line. Whoa, then. Whoa.
I don't know. It just only curled.
Yep, roll it
from
high.
one
Whoa,
end of the
whoa,
button
whoa,
to the
whoa,
other. Like that's gonna sit. Maybe we just gotta eliminate the line and stay on the.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, just try and stay on the face. of the
like
player.
just jam it in and sit here.
Yeah.
Kind of like hack.
Sure. No, I like hack. Yeah. Just gotta keep our shooter on the face of it.
Yeah.
Whoa, easy.
Yes.
Easy.
Whoa.
Whoa! No!
Trying to get close to
No.
the nose of that blue
No!
stone.
On its own. On its own.
No!
Real good.
That's a really nice shot.
Good.
Yeah, unfortunately now Rachel might be guarding for her life
Real nice. Perfect.
and or playing the in turnaround to the top edge of the forefoot.
I literally think this shoe could like.
Oh, it's full on.
Okay, well, back coast okay. Shooter's important, eh? Shooter's important. Yeah, just gotta roll the shooter. Just move that to there. Yeah, I don't have another shot on my last though. We have to get one under, or else they're getting 3. I want to run that, eh?
Maybe we can listen into what they're having to say here.
Okay. There with 11. Yeah. They really dragged that out. Okay. 11. Yeah. Straight through. It's tight ice.
Not quite sure what she's trying to get at here.
Whoa, whoa,
I think she's trying to get to the inside of.
Close,
Don't
yes!
lose it.
Hard! Gotta go.
Trying to get to the inside if she can without ticking. Oh.
Ooh. That's real ugly.
That was just a massive sweeping error. Like the Emma panics, the front end, they get right off it. They get right off it for too long. It makes its turn, and by that time it was gone.
Stop. No, yeah, that.
Flaxey team displacing a stationary stone, so the non-offending team has the responsibility for an option of replacing it.
So Rachel just gave it a couple taps with her broom, put it back in place.
Air is definitely like tight guard. Okay, so that T-line there will be this T-line here. So I need to take off like 6 feet and let you guys sweep.
Close for line.
Line's good.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay.
Close for line. It's really going.
Yeah. Yeah. Really hard. Really hard.
Oh, this is going to
Whoa,
rack
whoa,
as well.
whoa, whoa. Just leave it. Just leave it. No. No, just.
Well, that ends up being a pretty lucky break.
Yeah, still stopped in.
That got to like a better
Well, there's
spot.
a
Sideways, I think.
there's a
We're starting to see if
triple option here for Rachel. She's going to absolutely try to nut this thing.
That back one pretty thin. They're close together, so 3/4 works.
Okay. Yeah, 3/4 is real.
Just about an inch across the face.
Real straight here.
And
Joe, let
get
it go.
all
Just
three
dragged it out.
Yellowstones moving out of the rings.
What? 3/4. Yeah.
3/4. 3/4 on the inside.
So Rebecca, we had David Mather's story at 5.9 seconds yesterday for hog to hog. Rachel's last one was about 6.7 seconds.
Careful
we'll
not to
see
drag this out too
how hard this is going.
Just off the line.
There might be a little extra jump in her step here.
Whoa.
No.
It's really close.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hard. Hard.
Misjudged how that was going to break again.
Couple missed sweeping calls there.
Well, this is going to give Allison Flaxey a free draw for 3 points again. And at that point, she will take a commanding 7-3 lead.
Yeah. Yeah, you can afford to tap it in. Very similar.
It's running a bit better. Not curling. You're on this right now.
Line's fine.
Okay, you're fine. You're in the pile. Three.
Well done by Allison
Very nice
Flaxey.
shot. Great end there from Team Flaxey to set that up. A score of 3
I didn't think I gave
here
it
in
much
the
more,
8th
but it might have
end.
just been like one in
Puts
the
them
back.
up 7-3 against Team Homan. Our on-ice reporter, Jason Chang, is ready downstairs at ice level with an update again. Jason, how's it going down there?
That was good. We banked a little bit there.
So clean end, eh?
So want it.
Rocks in play across the 3 games that are still going on. As we mentioned earlier, Sherry Madaw has defeated Julie Tippin by a score of 7-0. Both teams at 3-4 and watching these other ladies' game very closely. They're still alive, trying to get into a tiebreaker game. Okay, let's set things up. Sheet A, Kathy Auld trailing Megan Balston by a score of 3-4. Auld does have the hammer, and they're playing the 9th end. Over on sheet D, Jacqueline Harrison just made a nice draw for 2 in the 8th end to take a 5-4 lead over Heather Hegestad. Hegestad has the hammer in the 9th end. Hegestad needs a win to keep her hopes alive as well. And over on sheet E with the men, they're in a tight game, tied 5-5 playing the 9th end. Scott Bailey, Corey Hegestad. Bailey has the hammer, lots of rocks in play. They just called a timeout. If Bailey wins, he's in. Corey Hegestad trying to play the spoiler. Okay, back up to the action, to the booth, Ian and Rebecca.
Okay, line's holding.
Thank you, Jason.
You're still going to cross, but try
It's
and get
getting, you can feel the tension starting to mount in the building here. There's just so much going on, and the fans are getting excited.
Absolutely. You couldn't really ask for a better final draw here at the 2017 Ontario Scotties. All these games so close, and they all mean so much. It's getting very exciting in here in the Cobourg Community Center.
Well, Allison Flaxey with a 7-3 lead here over Rachel Homan.
It's better to go be a little high. Yeah.
Allison throwing Megan Court's first stone to the top of the 4-foot.
Oh, we're good.
Now getting Lisa Weigel to throw the corner guard. Now Allison Flaxey will just get Morgan Court to throw her stone away, knowing that the more rocks in play will only probably benefit Rachel. Rachel will throw up the double corner guard here from Lisa Weigel.
Room, switch. Can't. This is a really good track. M hard. You can help her if it's light.
It looks light.
Looks really light.
Well, Lynn Kreviatsik has the opportunity to throw the peel here, and if she's fortunate enough, she will make the double peel. That's the bonus.
No. Easy peel. No, just leave it.
Go with the yellow. Okay.
Just going
Just
underneath
misses
that
that
second
double.
shot.
Still glides nice here, Joe. Yeah.
In that game between Kathy Auld and Megan Balston, Kathy Auld had to take her single point in the 9th end.
That's all there.
That game is tied at 4 now.
So go out
and
wider.
They are playing the 10th end of play.
Still looks all there. Easy, take a look.
I'm on pins and needles here, Ian. This is just getting so exciting.
Well, it's kind of like your
Yep,
head's on a
yep,
swivel
yep.
watching the different sheets.
It is.
They're even now.
Nice shot by Joanne. Gets those rocks even.
Same throw.
Easy. Clean. Easy. Whoa.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I know.
Nice shot there from Lynn.
Lynn's had a very solid game here today.
Absolutely, she's throwing very well.
Okay. I think we're there still. It was a good extension.
This will go out wider, guys. It'll be a new path. Yep. Can't hurt it. Yep. Keep going.
Great spot right there is good. Beauty.
Rachel being very patient here, getting Joanne Courtney to throw up the corner guard again. This is where sometimes, you know what, they just made the same out-turn peel. Lynn made 2 of them in the exact same spot, and they keep throwing it into the same spot. I'd like to see them vary that location.
Yep.
Even get it a little closer to the center.
Hard. Hard.
Or maybe even throwing the...
Really hard. Gotta go. Keep.
Oh.
Rolled her shooter almost frozen to that other blue corner
Well,
guard.
see, and this is where actually Rachel should be playing away from this. If I was Rachel right now, I would try to draw around the backside of that center stone. Why? Well, you want Allison to play on that because you can split that front one in because you just hit half the rock and then you roll your shooter in and the back rock will go in later in the end.
Don't need to then.
Line's tight.
Yep. Wait only. Wait only. Switch. Yep. We need separation here.
Good throw there from Emma.
So I think Clancy here can hit this thing a little high side. You're going to get the carry on the back one, and it may split the back one right off, and actually may have none of those rocks in play here if she rolls her shooter off as well.
Yes. Really hard. Whoa.
Real nice.
Great
Just
shot.
like that.
That was a perfect shot from Clancy. Really well done.
Peach, buddy.
It's on the light side.
Yep. Hard to get around. Get it in.
So now forced
Get
to
it
try
here,
to
looks
use that
really
one
light.
top 4 as a guard.
Keep going.
Emma coming up quite light again.
Okay.
Gotta go. Keep it moving. Close to the better, guys. Okay. That works.
Sorry, I thought a little light. I didn't think it would be like not in light.
Straight peel.
Allison Flaxey just going to peel that stone off. She's quite okay with giving Rachel her 2 points here. She'll take a 2-point lead into the 10th end and the hammer.
Yep. Right to it. Hard in the roll.
Well, they're not going to take any
Go with it,
chances
go with
here,
it, go
but
with it. Hard. Go. Okay, good, sweet. That's good.
I would fully expect that if Rachel didn't get at least a point here, that we definitely would have a shaking of the hands.
Better take it slower now. The same. Go ahead.
12. Yeah, line.
Go ahead.
Roll. Yep.
Freeze.
Gotta
Do
go
you want to
line.
freeze?
Hard line.
Do you want to freeze?
You got it. Hard. Keep going. Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, goes right through the rings.
Wade, you want to play at it?
Like we've been playing this side so much, it makes more sense to me, I think.
Well, this is just going to give
Yeah, that'll get there.
Like I'm giving
Allison
Morgan
Flaxey the opportunity
edge.
to
This looks close.
put one right on
Tight,
center
tight
line,
guard.
top 8 foot, and shall they force Rachel to make a draw
This is
to
a
the
little bit
button
less
for
than I
the
give
single
you to
point.
kind of get to like center line, so. Looks like a lot. Can I have a hair less?
That great shot from Clancy really
Okay,
took
so
this
still
end
just
away
fast here.
from Team Homan. And some missed shots by Emma and by Rachel, and now Rachel's gonna have a really tough shot to even score here.
Okay, yeah, then. Okay.
Line's great.
Whoa. No, just let it stop. Let it stop.
Line's great.
It's all on its own. All right.
Thought we were 1.5 too. So.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
Obviously, the outcome of this game having huge implications
Does it matter?
on our final standings here. Kathy Auld being tied up in her game against Megan Baldston. Coming down to the last few stones. If Kathy Auld wins, she stays alive. If she loses and Allison Flaxey wins, there will be no tiebreaker situation. If Kathy Auld wins and Allison Flaxey wins, then there will be one tiebreaker game for the third and final playoff spot. And Rachel making that double takeout for a single point. And will trail by a score of 7 points to 4 after 9 ends of play. I'm sure there'll be a conversation about whether they are shaking hands here.
I don't love mine. Your one is compared to mine. It's like just a little more than that.
Yeah,
We're just gonna
hit.
So if Morgan's first one was great, they're gonna go in. So we're gonna go one round.
One
One
around.
around and then through.
through.
Yep. Okay, let's go.
And start peeling again.
Yeah. We got tons of time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Then pounded it, and then we were. What are you throwing?
Go. Okay. Try for one first.
Lisa Weigel now throwing the out-turn guard. It was interesting during that break because both teams kind of stand at the hog line, kind of looking across at each other. One team's kind of saying, "Are you going to quit?" The other team's saying, "You know, are you guys going to fold?"
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to quit? Are you going to fold? So this call right here, I question is that, you know, why would you put one on the top of the forefoot? I know she wants to try to control the forefoot, but any shots in the rings are only going to help Rachel at this point. I'd be trying to tick this rock, you know, across to make sure that your forefoot is still open.
Line's fine, just starting to curl, full 8.
I think you got a little bit. Okay, hey, you're good. You're right.
Full 8 by 4.
You're right. We're there.
Oh.
Good.
Good, Morg.
It's okay. 3.
Looks all there.
3.
Lisa here with her second shot. Trying to bring this as tight to the rings as they can.
Can't hurt it. I didn't know she was taking the one. Sorry. I'm gonna give her more ice.
Team Flaxey going to throw this stone through. Again, not really needing any extra rocks in play. That yellow stone now sort of making this draw a little bit easier for Joanne. She's going to throw a freeze on it.
Clean.
Okay, it should be there.
Clean it. Yep.
8.
Whoa. Off.
It's not bad. 8.
Yep. Whoa, whoa.
Heavy.
No, can't.
Tapping a bit. Not bad.
Just a lot.
She'll hit and roll off. It is shot stone. Is Allison Flaxey going to hit it?
Yeah, ordinarily I think you'd walk up and you'd peel the double peel the corner guards, but if she did that and she missed, it would create a huge pocket back here that could create issues for Allison. So at this point they're sort of rock counting a little bit, those two.
Trying to roll her shooter out.
Yeah, you don't want to hang around here.
Whatever you get more.
You gotta go, gotta go.
Okay.
Okay.
Top court.
Yeah. You can get out to her.
Line's really good. Yep.
6.
Yes, yes, line.
7. 6.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Hard.
5, 6.
Gotta go. Gotta go hard. Just light. Okay.
Strokes are all mismatched. That was just
Joanne a little bit light on that one.
Just kill the release.
Takes that closer guard, rolls over a little bit.
Yeah, 8's dead straight.
Still a usable stone, making Allison think
straight
about this a
probably
little
fast, right?
bit. She's got to be careful not to jam.
Thought you made the right adjustment. Close light.
Allison going to get Lynn Kreviatsik just to peel this off.
You would have got by. It's just, I guess those two aren't a pair.
No, no. Just leave it. She'll be really close.
Oh,
Very good.
just rubbed that top one, but still made the double on the other two blue rocks.
She's heavy.
Line's a hair tight.
Am I going to try to get one in here, lock it in here?
Take a look. Line's good. Keep your brooms on it. I don't think you can hurt it. Okay. No, 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 no. Yep. Don't switch. Hard. Hard.
Trying to hold the line.
Okay, peel the top one.
Pretty nice weight, but that's third shot. Allie able to walk up and peel that one remaining guard.
Yep, yep, yep. Hard. Hard.
Nice
Well
shot.
done by Clancy Grandy there. Well, we're down to the last 3 stones from Rachel Homan. Obviously 3 down without the hammer. So she's going to need at least the one in the rings plus 2 others to count. I think she's trying to freeze on this.
Yep. Yeah, line. Clean. Yeah, line. You gotta go. Gotta go, line.
Starting to lose line on this draw.
Piece. Gotta go for a piece. Hard. Keep going. Keep going.
Fortunately, didn't really stay frozen on either of those yellow stones, so it'll be pretty easy for Clancy to remove it.
Clean. Yep. Yes.
She might get a little lucky clip here. No, she's going to. Well, the only other thing for Rachel is that she needs to be able to, she's got to remove all those yellows first.
Yes.
To be able to count 3. She's got 2 rocks left. I think what she needs to do is actually chap that stone and create a massive pocket, and so they can't slash anything out.
Up to speed, Em? What? Up to speed? Yeah.
Yep. Did you like that? Wait.
For Rachel Homan right now, I guess she's going to try and freeze on the nose of that stone on the, I'm assuming on the top of the
Foot less?
top of the button.
Line's tight. Right to it. Yep. Hard line. Okay.
And this is going to come up way short. So this game's going to be over. That's handshakes. Be a final score of 7-4 for Allison Flaxey over Rachel Homan. Rachel Homan moving to 5-2. Allison Flaxey moving to 4-3.
Wow, very nice game here by Team Flaxey. They played quite well, and Emma and Rachel didn't have the strongest game either. Left a couple opportunities open there for Team Flaxey, and they were really able to take advantage.
Yeah, Rachel had this game in her hand today. I think she had a bunch of key opportunities. She'll go back and regroup, and obviously they will be into the semifinal game, I believe. Currently, Jacqueline Harrison is 5-1, and ahead of her, and the fact that Harrison beat Homan, that will automatically give Harrison a bye to the final. But I'm assuming we are going to have our on-ice reporter Jason Chang update you on all the sheets. So I'll send it down to Jason right now.
Thanks very much, Ian and Rebecca. What a game there by Allison Flaxey, needing a win to make sure she at least gets into a tiebreak. Well, let's take a look at the other ladies' scores. Over on sheet A, Kathy Auld has stolen the 10th end on Megan Balsden. Kathy Auld winning that game brings her record to 4-3. With Allison Flaxey also at 4-3, that creates a tiebreaker situation for that third and final playoff spot. Sheet 2, Sherry Madaw did what she had to do, but it wasn't enough. She couldn't get the results on the other sheets. She won that game against Julie Tippin 7-0. And I believe you are right based on my calculations, Ian. I believe Rachel Homan will be in second place after the round robin, no matter what happens in that Jacqueline Harrison game next door. And over on that game, as you mentioned, it's a 5-5 tie between Harrison and Hagestad. Jacqueline Harrison with the hammer. They're coming down to the last couple of stones. And finally, over on sheet D, Scott Bailey against Corey Hagestad. And they are in a tight battle. Scott Bailey has a 6-5 lead. Hagestad has the hammer. They're coming down to the last couple of stones as well. Remember, if Scott Bailey wins this game, he is in the playoff. If he doesn't, he may be in a tiebreak. Okay, that's the update from the ice to your device this afternoon at the Cobourg Community Center. So let's send it back to the booth with Ian and Rebecca for some final thoughts.
Well, thank you, Jason. Very exciting out here. Obviously, this evening's match, we're going to bring you the Mark Bice team up against John Epping. That game will be at 7:30 this evening. Our pre-game will be at 7:20. Exciting times here. I will look forward to all the excitement and bringing you more action tonight. So from all of us here at the Ladies Ontario Scott Tournament Hearts, we thank you for tuning in and viewing. From Rebecca, myself, and Jason Chang, and all our TSL crew, we look forward to seeing you tonight. Thanks for tuning in.